Okay, so we're gonna watch some of this Chud panel from earlier. It came about as a bit of a lolly discussion regarding the Papa Meat cartoon about Tom Brady and his son kissing, where Papa Meat decided to, or I think his name's Papa Meat, isn't it? Papa Meat. He decided to animate a cartoon of Tom Brady making out with his son, and I was making the argument that there was no moral distinction you could draw between a cartoon such as that of someone making out with their son and the same thing in sort of like a lolly style. And I said, if you think one is wrong, you should think the other is wrong, and that especially when you're depicting a specific child, that is actually wrong. Much like Shadman depicting specific children. That was the general roundup here. I argued that for a bit. Chud and Deorio, just back and forth. You know, Chud screamed at me, so they look terrible. Everyone, you know, all that sort of shit. But eventually, I tuned out. So we're gonna catch up on what's happened since then. There's a bit of a Smugbug conversation here, and then it goes on to Lonerbox's stream, where Foodshops is going to talk to Lonerbox and Granddad's Lounge about her POCD issues. So without further ado, let's get into it.
I think he needs to be investigated. Just
it doesn't matter. Okay, so Lonerbox, that's possible. I would defy, however, the first characterization.
Okay, we're gonna get sidetracked immediately. World round you, how now you took a huge L today, Kuihman. The Dementia's getting to you. Please explain to me what I said that was incorrect and why. When people say we're gonna get derailed immediately because the chat is part of this, why I don't want to start the segment. Explain to me what I said that was incorrect and why it was incorrect. I've said this to everyone so far. I am totally open to being wrong, but you have to clearly lay out the point that I was wrong on and why you think it was wrong. You can't just say, this looks bad. The optics. Oh, why are you defending this? You have to actually lay it out. Otherwise, I'm just not going to listen. I'm going to carry on doing the exact same thing. You can just piss and shit being banned in chat because you're not replying. There's one thing I hate. It's people say I'm wrong, but don't explain why they think I'm wrong, so you're about to get banned. That's it. Has he replied? Nope, we've waited way too long. You can leave and not come back. Cool.
We don't have this attitude towards a host of things. We actually do. Obscenity laws go way beyond just pedophile adjacent material, right?
Okay, I'll address this as well before we get too far into this. The intention is a retarded argument, completely retarded argument, because you cannot know the intention of a piece of art. You cannot know intention. You cannot determine intention. You can make inferences about the intention, but you cannot know intention. So if you're going to make a moral statement about something being wrong, it has to be on something you can know. Also, the intention doesn't change the effect.
But I think the key difference. I think the key difference here, and actually this is where it complicates it a little bit further, because there was a point in time in which homosexuality and gay porn, for example, was heavily associated with creating a proclivity to pedophilia and so on and so forth. I think
exactly.
I think
it's the cuties argument. It's the cuties argument. Exactly. This is the thing. Is that it's wrong. It's still wrong for cuties to do what they did. Obviously, it's real children, but the other factor is the same. Obviously, people can get lost in this analogy because they're like, oh, well, that's real kids. But it's like the point is that they're both real kids. So I'm going to lay it out. So cuties is still wrong, even though it's satire, even though it's not satire, but it's criticism. Even though it's criticism, it's still wrong to make that movie because it's using real kids. It's causing harm to kids. So it transfers, even though the intention is different. And the same should apply for other forms of sexualization of children, because that is what you're saying is wrong, and so it should be consistent.
Where here's the key problem when we're talking about children in particular. The issue here is no longer with really the obscenity of the thing. The obscenity of the thing ends up being a cover for the very real concern, like to provide additional bolstering to it, that the primary victims of this are the one group of people in society who must never be allowed to be victims of this. That's the key distinction. If like adults start like experimenting with like incest or whatever, that's gross. There's a lot of horrific power dynamics.
Retard alert. Cuties is wrong on so many levels. okay, you don't understand what's being said. I am comparing a specific trait. You can say that it's wrong for other reasons too, but I'm comparing a specific trait that makes it wrong to another thing where with that same trait. That's the point. You can compare things. There can be other factors that make something wrong in your judgment. There can be other things play into it, but you can still draw analogies between two things that compare a specific trait, and that is the point. That is the point of an analogy. Okay.
At play there. There's a lot of potentiality for extreme levels of abuse, so on and so forth. Should be extremely discouraged, obviously. But it's a different level of intensity when you adjust the age of the person to like under 17, say, or something like that. Now we're like no alarms.
No. Again, it's also that like rape pornography is still a thing, right? Like, and it's acted out, obviously, but it's still depicting the thing. And not to mention, it's not like even like
in the DGG era is coming out. It does feel like that. Whenever this comes up, it does feel like I just have to totally slip into everything I learned from sitting there passively consuming Destiny content for 8 years. It does feel like that. Just that dog comes out of me. I mean, I said it earlier. I got that dog in me. I got that DGG dog in me. I do. I admit it. I do. I got that DGG dog in me. It just wants to bark.
Their stepmother and all that kind of stuff.
Arguably though, incest pornography is exactly of that type as well. It's the difference. It's a variation on it, right?
What I'm arguing is that like even though the
murder in real life, then by your like.
I think we can do the video games argument in a second, but I think the argument you're making about the intensity, I think, is valid because obviously the CP thing is a lot worse, and like so the law thing would imply something worse in the real world. But again, I still don't think the response is ever proportionate, is it? Like, I feel like people like incest porn is just like that's just a fact of life because so many people are into it, and same with like the violent or like the rape porn and all that. It's like a really, really common thing. And people just don't.
Yeah, but that's because
that's another thing. It feels like the incest shit has shifted rapidly too. I feel like a couple years ago it was all like Wincest, all this shit, and now it's like, well, isn't that incest porn so gross? It's like, oh, when did everyone change their minds about this? I thought this was like the most popular stuff, wasn't it? This is always on GIF. There's always a thread for that.
That's because it doesn't involve children, and we sort of flip a switch there. Like
well,
we don't treat those two the same.
Hold on.
Everyone's trying to talk at once.
Absolutely.
Guys, have you ever been on a panel before? If everyone talks all at once, no one can hear fucking anything, okay? I've taken a step back and I'm trying to moderate this fucking shit show. Right. Okay. So, who disagrees? Who's a pedo? Who's not a pedo? Right, Grandad's Lounge, you go, and then someone else respond, and we'll go from there.
I just wanted to say, I think there's a huge difference between a fantasy involving consensual non-consent versus a fantasy involving literal school children. I think there's a huge difference between, say, a fantasy involving...
You can't just keep saying there's a huge difference. What is the difference? Tell me what the difference is now.
Fuck, I don't know. It's some moral
I don't think the difference
to explain correctly. It's
see, like this is it's just crazy. He gets pressed on it. Like, finally pressed on it. He's just like, I just don't know. I just don't know. Finally pressed on it. And he's like, I just don't know, bro. It's just insane to me. Wincest was a joke. Yeah, it's a joke. Yeah, it's a joke. Like I'm joking about Raven from Teen Titans. Just a joke, guys. We're just joking about liking incest, right? We're all just joking about it. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Yeah, it's a joke. But they're still into it. That's what they mean when they say it. They're saying they like it. It's like, what's the joke there? The joke is that it's fucked up, but they still think it's hot. That's the joke. That's why it's funny. That's what they're playing on. Man. Do you guys have autism? Am I talking to autistic people? I guess trolling doesn't exist anymore. What, are you talking about the Wincest stuff? Or are you talking about what's happening in chat right now? You're not convincing me you're trolling after an hour and a half of this. It was never meant to be taken seriously. What? You're tripping, dude. You're tripping. It was probably more serious when it started. You're tripping so hard, dude. That's just the craziest thing I've ever been heard. You are absolutely... I've ever been heard. I've ever heard. That is just, you're tripping so hard. Gigook does not just say the Wincest joke. Gigook is openly into incest hentai. Gigook is very openly into incest hentai. Very, very openly. He found a wife who enjoys it too. Wasn't even his sister. Isn't that great? Guys, see, it can work out. Thank you for the gifted, John Sanchez. I heard Queen watches a lot of Kiss X Sis. That's not true. That shit is rancid. That is groomer pornography. I knew a guy in secondary school who was a Kiss X Sis fan. He was like, no, I did. I knew a guy. He had like body pillows. He had a lolly body pillow. And he was obsessed with L from Death Note. He used to do the pose in photos. Where is it? He used to do this. This pose with the thumb to the mouth, like this. He used to do that in photos. And it was like really obvious that he was like trying to be like L from Death Note. And he thought he was just like L from Death Note. It was like so funny, man. Yeah, he would do that in class, the knee crouch shit. But in photos, he always had his thumb to his mouth. Based, I have two friends that did the same. Worst part is it was in Brazil. That shit's probably mad common in Brazil though, because don't you guys have like mad anime over there because of Japanese immigration and like the whole Latin America having a bunch of anime because it's like I don't know what the thing is because of the licensing shit or something because it's all subtitled or some shit, I don't know. Yeah, and he was a massive Kiss X Sis fan too. And he actually, okay, this is like a story, right? Okay, so this guy, he had a girlfriend, and he created like an OC lolly character that was basically like a fictional little sister of his girlfriend. Like, let's say I'll make up a name so I can explain this to you, right? So that it was like, so she had like, let's say she has, well, I'm just going to use random stuff to try and detach this as much as possible. Let's say she has a blue hair. The little sister character also had blue hair. And had his girlfriend's, he labeled it with his girlfriend's surname, and then gave it like, let's say it was like, just a generic first name, like Kate. So it was like Kate and then her surname. And he would like set his profile on like social media and shit online to be like this character. So like on Skype for ages, he was like, he had that as his thing. That was how he presented online. It was very weird. It was very weird. This wasn't really my man's. I knew him. It's hard to tell a story when you're trying to like remove as much personal information as possible to try and keep it detached. But yeah, total freak. Anyway,
I think.
What does GF think of that? I think I asked her about it like years later. I was like, well, "Did you not think that was fucking weird?" And she was like, "Yeah, it was weird. I guess I didn't think about it that much at the time." But I mean, she's a fucking weirdo too. I'll be honest.
Okay, but this isn't complicated though. This is actually really easy. The difference is not one of degree. Okay, Jesus Christ.
Surely the difference is just the one
The
of
difference between an adult and a child. Like it's
No.
Wait, stop.
Okay, everyone's talking. Listen.
Stop. The difference is the kids, bro.
Wow, amazing.
I've got. Listen, I just
it's
want
simple.
someone to. Right. So, this is the problem you've got. Is I agree with you. There's a difference, and I've got in my head what I think the difference is. But someone else needs to respond to that, or you need to say what the difference is. Otherwise, people are going to say, "Well, point the difference out."
I can explain the difference. I think the difference is it is impossible to enjoy that kind of porn with consent, right? There's no version of that works, whereas consensual non-consent.
That's not a difference. That's not a difference in the victim or the subject, my dude. You're talking.
Answer that question I deleted. Did he tee out? No, I don't think so. He had long hair for a long time. But no, I don't think he teed out.
Talking about a difference in terms of the morality of the person consuming it. That's not the question he's asking you. There's a very easy way to understand this. Okay, that's great. There's a very easy way to understand this. It's not a difference of degree. It doesn't become less bad based on how close to 18 the person is.
But he was like a total freak. Like he started living on his own and was like one of those guys who has like just a mattress on the floor, and he was like growing like weed in his closet and shit like that. He was a total freak. Apparently, when someone went around there, they like fucking it was like tissues and shit on the fucking bin and shit like that. It was, man, this guy was like fucking weird. I'm telling you.
The difference is that we have a category kid in our brains, and we associate that with this is an innocent type of person that must not be allowed to be harmed, especially in particular types of extreme ways. And so we have a radically different response based upon that classification as opposed to people who are outside of it. It's not a matter of pedophilia becomes less and less bad as you approach adolescence. That's stupid.
Yes, and adults shouldn't be raped.
Yeah, but it's not the same. No, sorry.
If they didn't rape,
no,
it's content.
Perfectly analogous.
Category of
it is perfectly analogous.
Food shops. I bought you when you said the dumbest shit, and you're repeating yourself. You're fucking repeating
What
yourself.
I scream about it.
It's not just about the children. Hold on. It's not just about children, because we agree that children must never be like in that position in real life, obviously.
Well, do you agree with that? Because you said you wanted to wrap yourself around a 12-year-old.
That was a joke.
Oops.
Oh, okay. It was just a joke. Gotcha.
Maybe don't make those jokes.
Like,
maybe don't make those jokes.
I applaud your commitment to the
What's wrong with making jokes,
okay,
Peter?
So if you want to watch that, that's fine. Okay, but I'm saying that there's a difference, probably. Like, sure, in the kids, right? And I understand where the alarm is coming from, but like when you rape adults, that's.
Guys, please, extended discussion of my physical attractiveness, whether positive or negative, is not appreciated in the chat. Thank you, thank you.
Also something we don't want in society, right? Does that make sense?
Yeah, but you can rape adults consensually. You can never have sex with kids consensually.
Wait, what?
Do you not understand that distinction?
Bro, that was a bad voice. Your voice cut out at a really bad time.
Right, slow down.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah. Peter Coffin was saying that Meat Canyon was fine because it's satire. Yeah. Wait, did he say something different there?
I applaud.
Children? Hold on. It's not just about children, because we agree that children must never be like in that position in real life, obviously.
Well, do you agree with that? Because you said you wanted to wrap yourself around a 12-year-old.
That was a joke.
Oops.
Oh, okay. It was just a joke. Gotcha.
Maybe don't make those jokes.
Like,
maybe don't make those jokes.
I applaud your commitment to the
What's wrong with making jokes, Peter?
So if you want to watch that, that's fine. Okay, but I'm saying that there's a difference, probably. Like, sure, in the kids, right? And I understand where the alarm is coming from, but like when you rape adults, that's also something we don't want in society, right?
Maybe.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, but you can rape adults consensually. You can never have sex with kids consensually.
Wait, what?
Do you not understand?
I said maybe don't make those jokes. Right, yeah, that's so retarded. Peter, it's the ideology, Peter. Peter, it's the ideology. Falcon from Game Ranks. Hello, Falcon from Game Ranks. It's the ideology, Falcon.
Bro, that was a bad voice. Your voice cut out at a really bad time.
Right, slow down.
Okay.
Right.
I'll say it again. You can rape adults consensually. If they consent to the rape, that's consensual.
No, it's consensual non-consent. Are you talking about that?
Yes, I'm talking about that. I'm sorry I swapped two words and you got confused. That's not
Dude, he's so effeminate as well. Look how he sits there with his fucking hand curled up. So gay.
that hard to understand.
Okay, but Smugbug, you're doing your classic thing, okay? Which is why everyone thinks you're a nonce. Can you just lay it out a bit more clearly? So, yeah, Smugbug's here, yes. Hello, Smugbug.
I thought you were dead.
Yeah, the idea that you can rape consensually is fucking retarded. Because the point is that CNC is not rape. Because there is a pre-existing agreement of consent. Like, it's just not rape because there is consent. You just don't get consent in the moment because that works into the fantasy of it, right? It's just such a fucking retarded thing to say. It's just so obviously wrong.
Hello. I am. Look, the problem is that the non-con part of it is something that you can opt into with both parties, but there's no way to fuck a kid in a consensual way. There's no version of that that exists.
We're talking about lolly. What the fuck?
Okay, right, but the
what is the subject of lolly food shops?
Yeah,
We're talking about the category and why it's
You have
completely
a
off
drawn
limits.
depiction of a kid. Sure, you jerk off to it in the bedroom. Now, who the fuck is it directly harming in real life?
Let me
Just
explain.
like consensual non-consent. Let me finish, okay? You piece of shit, okay?
I can help chill the fuck out. You don't even know me.
Just like with consensual non-consent,
I can explain this to you.
have two adults acting out a rape scenario in the bedroom. Is it acting out? Is it going against anybody in real life directly?
That's the point. I can emulate the porn that I'm jerking off to by simulating the rape in the bedroom. There's no way to simulate the lolly. That's why people are having different categories.
You can have sex with midgets.
Drawn depiction. Who is it harming? In both scenarios, they're fantasy. In both scenarios, they're fantasy. Both of them.
Right.
Okay, but food shops.
You can simulate the
food shops.
I mean, you can say that derailed the panel having Grandad's Lounge on there, but I'm glad that Grandad's Lounge and fucking Peter Coffin came in because obviously I'm fighting Chud on a home turf, so my perception is going to be fucked going in, especially with the heat on the lolly topic recently. But these people are so retarded, it was just like, it's jobbers. It's sending me jobbers, sending me the Cybermen. You went on this. Yeah, I was on this. I argued more at the start. I was arguing with Chud and Nick Deorio about whether, well, I wasn't even really arguing with Nick Deorio. Nick Deorio was sort of just sitting there going, why are you guys so heated? He think he called it a marital dispute. Yeah, this was today. This just happened, basically. But I went on to argue with Chud about an inconsistency in the moral standards around depictions of specific, real, actual children. Because Meat Canyon did a cartoon of Tom Brady making out with his son. And I said that if you think the Shadman art is wrong, then you should also think that is wrong, unless your only difference is the explicit sexual betrayal. But I don't think that is.
In a fantastic way, hold on a second. You can simulate the sex act in consensual non-consent, but you can't simulate.
I mean, Tom does kiss the fuck out of his kids. Yes, I don't disagree that Tom Brady does kiss the fuck out of his kids. I'm horrifically aware of the fact that Tom Brady kisses his children. Thank you very much, Brazilian lad. That doesn't mean that you can that it's a good thing to draw cartoons and distribute cartoons of of even further sexualized depictions of that happening.
Simulate fucking a kid in real life, so there's always going to be this extra barrier between you getting your real lolly porn and you jerking off to something.
You are so stupid. You are failing to see the similarity when it's right in front of you.
Non-consent isn't inappropriate.
No, Chud's argument wasn't it. He didn't think that, Spud. No, you're wrong. You're just wrong.
I mean, like the lolly is literally.
He said, "Oh, it's weird, but it's different. It's different. It's different." Okay, well, how's it different? The thing that makes it wrong is the same.
The lolly is literally a simulation. Sorry, Coffin.
Yeah, that is the simulation, right? As far as you can go.
As you can go. Communication between two adults. Like it's just that simple. It's just incredibly simply a different.
Okay, look.
Not
if you
Food Shops is right now arguing for real life.
To fucking kids, right? In your mind, is it not?
I feel like there's a massive
Adults are able
fucking
to talk to each other.
I feel like there's a massive fucking brain block here because the point is the thing that you're simulating. Because you're saying, like, I think Grandad's Lounge, you were being a little bit intentional, I think, with your language earlier when you said there's a difference between the simulation of the child, which is lolly, and then the simulation or the fantasy of consensual non-consent. But that's not actually true because when people watch rape pornography, they're not fantasizing over the consensual non-consent. What they're watching is consensual non-consent, but it's depicting actually rape. It's the fantasy is the same in both cases. And there's no.
I disagree.
The worst part is that no one has an answer to why it's different. I actually want to know. Yeah, tell me about it, dude. I said how many times did I say that in this conversation? I feel like I said it to Grandad's Lounge like 3 times. I was like, listen, please, just I'm listening. I'm open. I'm open to being wrong. I've said this chat numerous times. I'm open to being wrong. Totally open. Just explain to me what would make one of them okay and one of them not. Just very clearly explain that to me. And no one has. No one has. No one has. I think that if you are distributing sexual imagery, the sexual depictions of actual specific real children, that should be like a sex offense. You should be on some list. That's obviously wrong. That's what I think. I think Meat Canyon probably should be on a fucking list for drawing that shit of Tom Brady's kid. You shouldn't be animating fucking animations of a real actual kid. It's satire, lol. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. That doesn't work for cuties, so it shouldn't work here. Do you get put on Tom's list? I wouldn't wish that on anyone. Maybe I wouldn't say that he should be put on. Would I say that he should be put on a list? Because it's not explicit. Maybe it would have to be explicit for me to go as far as saying someone should be put on a list. I'm not sure. Either way, maybe I won't go. I'm undecided there. I'm undecided there as to whether it should be on a list or whether it's just a moral wrong. Oh, so the lol can be read 2 ways. I read it as lol as in a dismissive ha. So yeah, that's my take. No, Chud was being very couched and very sort of like, oh, you know, I don't think it's that bad. I don't think Meat Canyon's a hypocrite for spurging out about Lolly. But it's like, no, he kind of fucking is because he's done the same thing. It's just not explicit. It's just not like the kid's getting fucked. But that's not the only thing that he was taking issue with in his video about Lolly. So he is absolutely being a hypocrite. That was the fundamental problem. Is that sure it can be a difference in degrees. What he did isn't as bad as what much of lolly porn is. Absolutely, I'd agree with that. There's a difference in degrees. It's not as bad. Well, no, I would say it is worse than a lot of lolly porn because most lolly porn is about an actual kid. That's the thing that really makes it bad to me. But regardless, my point is that I understand there's a difference in degrees between him and Shadman, but the thing they've done wrong remains the same. The thing they've done wrong remains the same. So he is a hypocrite to me, in my eyes. And that was the argument. That was the argument I was coming in for. Was that Papa Meat Canyon, that guy, was being a hypocrite in his video decrying Lolly because he too has animated specific real children in sexual scenarios. I believe that is hypocritical and that is inconsistent. And if you are, decrying one, making moral condemnations of one, you should make moral condemnations of the other. Fuck, I feel like I've laid that out like 20 times already. I'm being a repeatophile right now.
I disagree. As some I'll throw it out there in the open. I'm somebody who engages in CNC, and I'm not fantasizing about actually.
Why did he say this? Why did he say that? Why did he just say that, dude?
Out there in the open, I'm somebody who engages in CNC, and I'm not fantasizing about actually raping somebody.
Wait, what? Rape porn? I get off the
You absolutely log of a creature. Right, everyone's talking over each other again. We need to learn.
You could just hear me on my fucking phone microphone shouting rapist in the background, man. Oh, bro.
A fantasy about like having a bit of like an aggressive fuck.
Okay, so I was
raping. You guys ever done this before? You guys you cannot fucking fathom this, can you? If you're all speaking at once, no one hears anything. So just try and have a bit of decorum. I don't want to have to fucking micromanage every conversation.
Moderate.
Yeah, this was earlier when Nick Deorio was in the Holocaust Museum in Fortnite, yeah.
Food shops, you fucking idiot. I am trying to moderate by saying that, you fucking moron.
You fucking balding freak, okay? I see your...
You're gonna call me...
Dude, Food Shops was scalping in this fucking panel, dude. Oh, man.
Fucking micromanage every conversation.
Moderate.
Foodshops, you fucking idiot. I am trying to moderate by saying that, you fucking moron.
You fucking balding freak, okay? I see your...
You're gonna call me a freak, you fucking pedophile, disgusting piece of shit, okay? Trans, Asian, pedo, the 3 worst things.
Okay, all right?
Why don't you say who you want to talk about?
He risked a Twitch ban. This is... Foodshops mogged Chud so hard that the only way that he felt he could come back was by risking a Twitch ban. He had to go. That is, he had to fly so close to the sun to be able to come back from that. That's just crazy. That's just crazy. Trans, Asian, pedo.
Like, oh, we're gonna have a productive panel directionally.
All you've done is come on to justify your own disgusting proclivities, you sick freak. Okay?
No, I'm here to actually not
you have repeatedly said no one is hurt by what you do, which is jerking off to Lolcow.
I mean, Chud, to be fair.
So I looked in the chat at one point, and there were people spurging out, being like, "Oh my god, why are you letting these pedophiles on to say this stuff? Why are you letting pedophiles? Why are you talking to these people?" Bro, this was amazing content. This is what I hate more than anything about the pedo hunting stuff online. The anti-pedo jihad that goes on. This is what I hate most about it, is that it's great. It's like fucking dynamite content. It's like great kindling for a fucking vicious argument. And some of the pedophiles, like Amos Yee, Foodshops, these people are fucking hilarious sometimes, man. If you get them grilled on the pedo shit for a bit, if you get them grilled on the pedo shit, that's fucking. They fucking can be very entertaining. So I don't know why we would try and cast these people out. Like, no, listen. As far as I'm concerned, I don't want kids around me. I don't want kids in my community. Bringing pedophiles in, it's like getting a cat to catch the rats. Do you know what I mean? We bring a Foodshops in because we know it'll keep the kids away. I think that's how that works, right? But you get my point, right? You get my point. Obviously, I'm joking there, but you get my point. Is that we don't want I'm not trying to cultivate an audience of kids here. I'm not trying to have kids on stream. I'm not trying to have kids around me. Period. So why would I? What's my concern when it comes to pedophiles? Why would I not talk to a pedophile? Like, I'm not putting anyone in danger. They're not going to molest me. I mean, well, I hope they're not going to molest me. But that's my risk, ultimately. You know, that's my risk. That's my risk to take on. It's not like there's some moral, like externality that I have to be concerned about. There's no kids that I'm trying to protect. So I don't know why I wouldn't farm a pedophile lolcow. I don't know why I wouldn't do that. I don't know why we would ever say, no, you've gone too far. You're cast out. Like, no, I'm going to grill you and I want to make some funny content about it. Well, that just makes sense to me.
You brought her on to do that too.
I brought Foodshops on because I thought that's true. I did bring them on to give them a bit of shit. I'm exploiting a trans Asian pedo. That is true. But listen to me. I am father brain. True. I don't want kids to get fucked up by people like you. You sick freak.
Yes, and I understand that. And I understand.
Stop arguing with me. I'm trying to moderate. You fucking freak. Shut the fuck up. Holy shit! It's not fucking cute for you.
You weren't grilling them though. You were grilling the people against it. You're confusing things here. Yes, in the argument I was making initially, I was going in to provide contention and my beliefs about the issue in order to counter what was being said on stream, provide some content in that way. However, once Foodshop shows up, who does have, some suspicious stuff about her actually, where she's actually confessed to things that may be considered pedophilic, yeah, I'm going to farm her. I don't understand wanting to get rid of someone like her. That's what I was talking about, is the people in chat saying, why have you brought these people on? Why have you brought this person on? That was what I was replying to. So please, can we try and follow, a line of thought. I swear, chatters are like so dumb. Some of you guys are so dumb. She's a lolicon, not a pedo, right? I would not ever put any weight on the idea that Foodshops is not a pedophile. Because the POCD statements are just like, they provide too much grey area. They provide way too much grey area. Yeah, POCD doesn't make you a pedophile. It's just, but it's the other stuff she said about the POCD that what makes it suspicious. That's not as close to pedo as you can get. No. No, I actually really hate that. I hate the people saying that. I hate that someone's saying that. That's actually annoying because I haven't heard someone genuinely say that. Like, that's obviously something that someone might say, but I've not heard someone genuinely say that up until now. POCD is not close to being a pedophile. POCD is a manifestation of OCD where you have fears of being a pedophile. That's not anywhere close to being a pedophile. The issue is that Foodshops, the thing she says about POCD, imply that she doesn't have POCD. It implies that she's just attracted to children. That's the issue with Foodshops.
It's not cute for you to argue with me when I'm trying to fucking moderate the panel, you total idiot. Right, you need to speak one at a time. That's it.
Chud, why
That's
don't you
all
say
I'm
who
saying.
you want to speak first?
Okay, we're going into a meta conversation. It feels like Mr. Girl is here. The problem is when you're all speaking, I can't hear who's speaking either, and I don't know who to throw it to. You guys are going crazy, okay? So Grandad's Lounge, the best thing I can think is that Lonerbox, I think, had a response. So I'll throw it over to you. Give it a shot of responding.
Yeah,
Shit,
so when you're...
Sorry, Loner, you first, sorry.
Yeah, so I thought I was responding to you saying that, like, the idea is that lolly is a depiction of something that can't be done consensually in the real world, and that's why it's different from, like, the rape porn, right? That's kind of your argument? The difference is that lolly is depicting something that can't be simulated in the real world ethically, right?
No. That was not my argument.
That was my argument.
No.
Okay, so
I agree with that also. It wasn't my argument, but I agree with that.
I wouldn't agree with that.
But then I guess the problem is like when when two adults are fucking and the girl is calling the guy daddy, right? That's simulated.
Okay, if you just didn't know what the terms were, then fair enough. But I think there's people that say that sort of shit, but do know what they are, but still just sort of goes, no, it's just being a pedophile. But fair enough. But yeah, it's it's very annoying. Whoa, is GTA 6 out already? Ask him because of body in the top right. What? That's Fortnite, Ninja. What the fuck you on about?
Like that can't be replicated ethically, but they're getting off to that. So are those people like worrying in the real world then?
Oh shit!
Again, those are two people that are.
Yeah, no, I do think that's fucked up. Yeah, I hate that shit. I think there is a huge issue with incest porn. I think that is a big issue. I think the whole daddy thing is probably slightly different in this day and age. I genuinely think that word has like been transformed by Zoomers or some shit. I think it's gross and weird, but I don't know. I don't know what that.
It's more a marker of dom now than a marker of age play. I think it's just kind of been mainstream
thing.
Yeah.
Okay, but people again, age play again is like on schoolgirl shit is like still quite common. We all know the thing with like fucking Belle Delphine and like making herself look younger, and the more younger she made herself look, the more followers she got, right? But again, that is, even though we know it's a consenting adult, but we also know that the people who are enjoying it seem to be more drawn to the fact that it's simulating something that cannot be replicated ethically. But that's why I feel like people.
Okay, right. I agree that the daddy stuff is gross, but the main propagators of that shit are like white girls who, like, oh man, how do I want to say this? Because there's one way to say it that's really funny, but really bad to say. And then there's another way of saying it that's really tactful. The main propagators of the daddy shit are all white girls who got raped as kids. So my issue there is like, you can say it's gross, but do we think there's anything wrong going on there? Because I don't feel like it's increasing the girl's chance of like molesting a kid. I don't think it's increasing. Okay.
Foodshops super chatted $4.99. $4.99 from Foodshops. AFTERTHISPANEL
Okay, that's kind of failed. That's kind of an LMAX. That kind of failed on the on the TTS there. But I appreciate the sentiment, and I can read the message. I'll read it out myself. After this panel, I've gained an interest in rape porn. Will report my find. I shouldn't have said it just like that in my voice, should I? I'm like so dumb when it comes to the clip stuff. Yeah, thank you for the $4.99 from Foodshops there. Thank you. I think it's harmful to them in the sense of it being an unhealthy coping mechanism of taking substance abuse going. I can see the argument. I just don't know that I believe it. And I also don't know that I care. I also just don't know that I care. I think when people do that shit, when they're something bad happens to them, and then they have some, like, I don't know, man. I just don't. I felt policing that is just.
I just don't really like acknowledge the massive difference between people can enjoy the simulation of something that is unethical, but they might not have any interest in the unethical thing itself because that would actually involve harm.
Yes, I agree with that point. I think that is true. I think people can.
I don't think it's just about involving harm, though. I think that's kind of a red herring, and I think not intentional, but I think that kind of makes people take this a little less seriously. Because I don't think the issue.
It's the best content we've had in ages. If you've don't forgotten to it yet, but your shit on Coffin was very gratifying. Which one? I mean, feel free. Remind me in chat. I was shouting Coffin a few times about a few different things.
Was that there's necessarily one-to-one correspondence between people consuming lolly material and then going out to actually molest children. I think the issue is that we recognize very qualitatively a family resemblance between these things, and not having a firm grasp of what the actual results of this are. We consider it very reckless with children, and then we immediately consider somebody who is willing to be reckless with children in that particular way, especially someone who already has a proclivity where the only barrier to them engaging in this kind of thing is either moral or practical. Like there's some, like they'll get in trouble with the law or something. We don't trust that. Like that makes us worried about that person in that way.
Because there's actually a lot of research on this, and I actually have a degree closely related to pedophilia for no ulterior motive.
Believe you.
What?
Dude, Smugbug. This is when Smugbug's based, so he just says shit like that. Oh man. I'm leaking DMs. Smugbug actually messaged me being like, thank you for defending pedophilia with me. Just bro.
Why would you say...
No, jokes like this do go over well, but you just have to acknowledge and be ready for the fact that there's going to be a very significant subset of people who just think you're a straight up pedophile. Yeah, Smugbug's coming out streaming on Monday, apparently. So.
Pedophile. Oh, what is the degree related?
Everybody here is projecting. I did a lot of research in it. Sorry, I did.
I mean, to be fair, if you've,
it's not good.
Look, I need to use my degree for something. Okay, all right. So I think part of the concern that Peter has is that there are actually two groups, right? You've got your kind of capital P pedophiles, and these are the ones who probably have like a high likelihood of offending. They probably are feeling pedophilic feelings from an early age. Often it's going to be sourced in their own kind of potential abuse in childhood. That's one of the biggest factors in someone actually being a pedophile. But then you have what I would call like these lowercase p pedophiles, people who get pipelined from like usually places like 4chan, where they'll get pipelined towards more extreme porn, and we recognize this with like violent porn, but I don't think we recognize it quite so readily with.
Slow down, Cowboy. I'm going to stop you right there. What research are you referring to?
The alt-right pipeline.
Hold on. So there is just 1 second. So we know that people tend to habituate to stimuli and then start to like gravitate towards more novel porn over time. I think that youth is one of these vectors where people will start off, and anime is a good like kind of area for accidentally falling into this, where like you maybe start jerking off to regular anime, and then because Japan is a bit fucked up, they blur the lines between the two quite frequently, and so you end up going younger and younger and younger.
Okay, but hang
on. No, the thing is, I think this is a bad argument. The lowercase, uppercase P pedophile thing. I think that's a dumb argument. I think you have to. I am committed, I think, to forcing people. We are forcing people to use the word pedophile correctly. Okay, guys, we are relentless. All right, I will hold the entire general population by the throat until they start using the word pedophile properly to describe someone who has a focused attraction, primary exclusive, focused attraction towards prepubescent children. No more fucking around. Calling someone who commits statutory against a 17-year-old a pedophile. No more of that shit. The colloquial definition shit has got to stop. It needed to stop a long time ago. If that means pedophiles in the street.
Hang on, I gotta stop you there though. I have to stop you right there though, Smugbug. Okay, so on 2 points. First of all, you haven't actually produced this research, so we don't know this. But secondly, that's an argument against anime as a category. That is not an argument for demonstrating that people will move from consuming certain types of porn to enacting it in real life.
So this whole thing of needing ever more stimulating porn is a pure fabrication. Like, where is the study?
Well, yeah, I hate when people say that, when people are like being a little bit neurotic or like, fucking picky about something and they say, oh, I'm OCD. Yeah, that's fucking retarded. And I deliberately try to stop myself. Well, I'm a bit of a spaz and I'll like struggle with focusing my attention a lot of the time, but I'm not fucking ADHD diagnosed or any shit like that. So I try not to call myself ADHD or like say that I'm being ADHD. I try to catch myself when I say shit like that because it's fucking retarded. And it makes it seem like you're playing up or playing into some issue that you don't really have. The autistic thing's a bit different. Because that's like a pejorative. It's like slightly different to me because it is a pejorative. It's like if I call someone an F slur, I don't know that Foodshops is an actual pedophile. I'm not considering. I'm not saying that Foodshops is a pedophile or isn't a pedophile. I'm saying that there is more evidence than simply being interested in Lolly or simply having POCD to suggest that she is, because of the inconsistent stories around POCD, because of the poor explanations of how POCD works, because of the claims that she's prescribed Lolly for it, because of all the excuses she made and how she wound herself up into not about it, because of the expressions of wanting to wrap herself around a 12-year-old. No one online even knows what autistic means anymore because it's misused so much. I mean, I don't think people in real life know what autistic means either, to be honest with you, Spotgun.
Are you saying that you actually need more stimulating porn, like the more
Hold on.
I feel like maybe I don't even know. This is something I heard Destiny say. I feel like I'm quoting Destiny way too much recently. I've got to cut it out. But I heard Destiny say something that like if you just take like one psych class, you become completely detached from everyone else's understanding on these issues.
Smugbug super chatted $4.99. $4.99 from Smugbug. There's a study actually, Tabarocco 6, on the starting positive correlations of pedophilia, transgender redorism, and autism.
Thank you, Smugbug, for the $4.99, and I'm absolutely certain that exists. I believe you.
1 second. So first of all, I
mean, I doubt that's Smugbug. I think that's probably Max, but yeah.
We do know that people. Hold on, we do know.
Of any kind or
Literally all, practically all algorithmic media is focused on offering you something novel that pushes you down a particular pipeline. For porn, there are absolutely plenty of studies that show that people tend to, if you start consuming BDSM porn, you'll start to get to more and more extreme versions of that porn.
Bug, I get that, but here's the problem. There's a basic correlation causation conflation you're making here, and that's that the people who consume one kind of porn are by dint of going to the places where that porn is going to be exposed to the other stuff. Now, is it because the previous porn is causing an intensification and a need for that other stuff, or is it just because the availability is creating the opportunity for access? Right?
That actually doesn't matter because we're not talking about why it's happening. We're talking about what's happening, which is that they end up consuming more extreme porn. But I
understand that. But
I need to finish this point because I'm trying to help Peter here.
No, but it's you're missing the point entirely because we're already at the most extreme you can get in terms of what's socially recognized.
Lolly is not the most extreme you can get. You could make the jump to real child porn. Lolly is actually the last extreme you can consume.
I feel like I got ignored here, but listen, like even amongst anime, like Lolly is not the worst, most depraved stuff at all. Like, exactly. So Topher knows. Vor. No one said Vor. What? Where's Vor? Oh, Topher said Vor.
Actual question for the pedos on the panel. What about AI child porn? It's like defending that.
Wait, okay, slow down. I'll ask the questions here, big man, okay? Right, I think Smugbug, sorry, I just want to clarify something because I was, I tuned out for a bit there. So you're arguing that the consumption of lolly, through the same logic that if you consume violent pornography, you go down more violent routes, it could be the same with lolly. Is that correct? Is that what you're saying?
I'm saying that there are two groups. There's one group of pedophiles who are already going to be predisposed to pedophilia, and they're going out and seeking that porn. So when you do studies on people who are using lolly, you will see a higher rate, but as Sunday said, there's a correlation in the opposite direction, right? Like, you've got people who are more likely to be sexually abusing children seeking out lolly specifically, or child porn, right? Depending. And if they're doing the more ethical one, it should be lolly, right? But what we have is this other group who are pipelined toward lolly, and that group doesn't seem to actually offend. It seems like when you ban lolly, the first group is more likely to start doing actual child sex crimes. We've seen it in a lot of correlational studies in like Japan, the Czech Republic, Denmark, where you ban extreme porn and you see actual rises in sex crimes because that extreme porn is banned. But you also don't want to pipeline people towards lolly because then you're just creating more people who are into that.
Bug, hang on, slow down. Just one sec. One sec though. So you got to be really careful though, because again, this is a basic sociological principle. You do not derive from a correlation between two events the idea that one necessarily caused the other one. Like, it's distinctly possible that rates of these things didn't change.
I didn't do this.
At all.
I didn't do this study. I'm invoking studies.
Ayo, refreshing memberships.
From a guy called...
But you're not invoking any study. You're just saying there are studies.
Sorry, do you want me to start? Okay, I can start dropping citations on this Chud Logic panel.
I'm just confused. No, but I'm just confused as to why you would reference. I'm confused as to why you would reference studies at all without, for example, saying, so this person did a study here, and what they found was, but you didn't do that. You jumped from they banned pornography in Korea to it's like.
Sunday, you bogged this shit down, man. I'm just trying to make a fucking point, which is that there are two kinds of pedophiles we should worry about. Ones who are actually likely to offend, and ones who are being pipelined towards lolly, and we want to prevent the latter while also not removing access to lolly from the former.
But the debate is about lolly, though, not people being pipelined to lolly.
Remove the access to lolly.
We should remove lolly is the pipeline here, though.
Yeah, exactly.
Lolly is the last ethical thing you can give a pedophile before they offend, right?
No, I don't consider it ethical at all.
I'm serious. Right, what is the last thing that you can... What's the last thing you can give a pedophile?
It's not an ethical thing. Look, Bug, the most charitable line of the argument is that it's an unethical thing that doesn't cause material harm, so you can kind of live and let live. I don't necessarily buy that, but you're not providing an argument that's pertinent to the conversation.
It's not. Hold on. It's not an ideal, but it's absolutely like there are like anonymous therapeutic.
It's not an ideal, but we should let the pedophiles watch the child porn.
Hold on. If you want to weed
which have legal CP for ages has much worse issues than we have here. You want to make it more accessible?
There are facilities in Germany that are taking people who are consuming real child porn and they shift them onto lolly as a therapeutic method to get them away from the actual material that has material harm. If you care about lesser harm,
slow down. Wait, hang on. Wait. No. This is crucial. Actually, I've got.
I don't think they're good for drug addicts.
Okay, but this is crucial.
But you don't think methadone is good for drug addicts?
Hang on, wait.
Wait, you contradicted yourself.
One moment, please. I just want to respond very quickly to this, and then I'm going to shut up. I want to respond to this, and then I'll shut up. That's an absurd claim to make. For one, I'm perplexed as to what the mechanism would be. So if you move people off of child pornography onto fictionalized material that portrays child pornography in as ideal a light as possible, they're going to find this less enticing. What is the logic here?
Wait, what? Sorry, why did you add as ideal a light as possible? This is just a way to get people to stop consuming
because you're talking about pornography, which means it is designed specifically to be as appealing and as not off-putting, et cetera, as possible. Like, it removes all of the social elements away from that would keep a sane person, even with that proclivity, from attempting
Sunday,
to engage
I can ask you a very simple question to help you understand this, okay? You have a choice here. I'm going to give you a hypothetical. You can either have someone consume real child porn or lolly. Which one would you prefer?
Lolly, but it's a false dichotomy because we don't
It's
need
not
to
a
give
false
them
dichotomy.
either.
It's in the real fucking world. This is a fucking therapy that's happening in Germany right now.
Okay, I feel like I'm... Alright, so what's this? Okay. Spudgun, what is this survey? What is this German study? This is... So Spudgun's saying this is ongoing research about pedophiles using Lolly.
I'm about to criticize that.
The people who consume one kind of porn are, by dint of going to the places where that porn is, going to be exposed to the other stuff. Now, is it because the previous porn is causing an intensification and a need for that other stuff, or is it just because the
people who have a non-natural hair color needs to be bullied and persuaded into putting a hole or two in their own?
We get the idea, Doobie. Thank you very much for the $5, as always, Doobie. Thank you, thank you, thank you. From the ceiling or in some other way have their brain stop functioning. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
availability is creating the opportunity for access, right?
That actually doesn't matter because we're not talking about why it's happening. We're talking about what's happening, which is that they end up consuming more extreme porn. But
I understand that, but
I need to finish this point because I'm trying to help Peter here.
No, but it's you're missing the point entirely because we're already at the most extreme you can get in terms of what's socially recognized.
Lolly is not the most extreme you can get. You could make the jump to real child porn. Lolly is actually the last extreme you can consume.
Actual question for the pedos on the panel. What about AI child porn? It's like defending that.
Wait, okay, slow down. I'll ask the questions here, big man, okay? Right, I think Smugbug, sorry, I just want...
Oh, yeah, sorry. I was going to say this before. I got sidetracked, and I was going to say this. The Guru shit. Does anyone remember? Okay, I'm testing 4chan knowledge here. Okay, guys. Any Chan users that have been on the internet for way too long who are around? Okay. Do you guys remember fluffy abuse threads? Do you guys remember? Because that stuff always bothered me more than any lolly shit I saw on there. That shit was fucked. So fluffy abuse threads were basically these threads where people would post these images that were made in MS Paint. And they were like cartoons, sort of these little sort of like hairball fluff creatures that like little rodents almost. And they were like, had like these, like autistic baby personalities to them. Like, you know, like, oh, sweet, you know, that sort of ooh shit, you know what I mean? But then it was just, they were just like comic strips of them being abused and like ripped apart and like, in like the most sadistic visual ways that you can imagine. And it was just endless, these threads. They were just like endless pictures of this shit, and like in super depraved ways, like, you know, them being left to rot and fester in their own shit and stuff like that, and just like the most fucked up stuff you can imagine. The vast majority of fluffy threads were making fun of them though. Very people were jerking off to them. I don't believe it was making fun of them or they were jerking off to them. I think it was just like a morbid fascination thing. That's because I like the same as a gore thread. That's how I always saw it. Well, that shit was like demented. You have to have seen it. You have to have been there and seen these threads to really get it, I think. You disagree? You think they were jerking off to it?
I want to clarify something because I was, you know, I tuned out for a bit there. So you're arguing that the consumption of lolly through the same logic that if you consume violent pornography, you go down more violent routes.
Gore is like a fact of life. Someone took time and made those. Yeah, but I mean like the watching through it, like the going through the threads, it's the same sort of motivation, I think. What the fuck is this? WTF is fluffy about. Short version, horrible things happening to cute creatures, kind of like Happy Tree Friends, except more brutally realistic. For the long version, read the fluffy origin story at the end of the page. Why do you like this? Is it some kind of fetish? It's not a fetish, but there are many ways people enjoy fluffies. Stress relief, feels, gore, cuteness, the sheer absurdity. More of the allure of fluffies can be summed up in these 5 interlapping categories. Abuse. The most popular part of fluffies is seeing them suffer. Their cute appearance, babbling baby talk, simple-mindedness, and endless capacity to inspire unparalleled amounts of cute aggression. The Fluffies believe the world is all just love and huggies. And for a moderately jaded human being, seeing all that naive innocence crushed can be an immensely satisfying experience. Like, this is just fucked in the head, no? This is just, like, totally fucked.
It could be the same with Lolly. Is that correct? Is that what you're saying?
I'm saying that there are two groups. There's one group of pedophiles who are already going to be predisposed to pedophilia, and they're going out and seeking that porn. So when you do studies on people who are using Lolly, you will see a higher rate. But as Sunday said, there's a correlation in the opposite direction, right? Like, you've got people who are more likely to be sexually abusing children seeking out Lolly specifically, or child porn, right? Depending. And if they're doing the more ethical one, it should be Lolly, right? But what we have is this other group who are pipelined toward Lolly, and that group doesn't seem to actually offend. It seems like when you ban Lolly, the first group is more likely to start doing actual child sex crimes. We've seen it in a lot of correlational studies in like Japan, the Czech Republic, Denmark, where you ban extreme porn and you see actual rises in sex crimes because that extreme porn is banned. But you also don't want to pipeline people towards Lolly because then you're just creating more people who are into that.
Bug, hang on, slow down. Just one sec. One sec though. So you got to be really careful though, because again, this is a basic sociological principle. You do not derive from a correlation between two events the idea that one necessarily caused the other one. Like, it's distinctly possible that rates of these things didn't change.
I didn't do this.
I
didn't do this study. I'm invoking studies from a guy called.
But you're not invoking any study. You're just saying there are studies.
Sorry, do you want me to start? Okay, I can start dropping citations on this Chud Logic panel.
I'm just confused as to why you would reference. I'm confused as to why you would reference studies at all without, for example, saying. So this person did a study here, and what they found was, but you didn't do that. You jumped from they banned pornography in Korea to it's like.
Sunday, you bogged this shit down, man. I'm just trying to make a fucking point, which is that there are two kinds of pedophiles we should worry about. Ones who are actually likely to offend, and ones who are being pipelined towards Lolly, and we want to prevent the latter while also not removing access to Lolly from the former.
But the debate is about Lolly, though, not people being pipelined to Lolly.
Remove the access.
I misunderstood.
We should remove Lolly is the pipeline here, though.
Yeah, exactly.
Lolly is the last ethical thing you can give a pedophile before they offend, right?
No, I don't consider that ethical at all.
No, I'm serious. Right, what is the last thing that you can... What's the last thing you can give?
It's not an ethical thing. Look, Bug. The most charitable line of the argument is that it's an unethical thing that doesn't cause material harm, so you can kind of live and let live. I don't necessarily buy that, but you're not providing an argument that's pertinent to the conversation.
It's not. Hold on. It's not an ideal, but it's absolutely like there are like anonymous therapeutics.
It's not an ideal, but we should let the pedophiles watch the child porn.
Hold on. If you want to weed
which have legal CP for ages has much worse issues than we have here. To make it more accessible.
There are facilities in Germany that are taking people who are consuming real child porn and they shift them onto Lolly as a therapeutic method to get them away from the actual material that has material harm. If you care about lesser harm,
slow down. Wait, hang on. Wait. No. This is crucial. Actually, I've got.
I don't think they're good for drug addicts.
Okay, but this is crucial.
But you don't think methadone is good for drug addicts?
Hang on, wait. One moment, please. I just want to respond very quickly to this, and then I'm going to shut up. I want to respond to this, and then I'll shut up. That's an absurd claim to make. For one, I'm perplexed as to what the mechanism would be. So if you move people off of child pornography onto fictionalized material that portrays child pornography in as ideal a light as possible, they're going to find this less enticing. What is the logic here?
Wait, what? Sorry, why did you add as ideal a light as possible? This is just a way to get people to stop consuming child porn.
Because you're talking about pornography, which means it is designed specifically to be as appealing and as not off-putting, et cetera, as possible. Like, it removes all of the social elements away from that would keep a sane person, even with that proclivity, from attempting to engage
I'll ask you a very simple question to help you understand this, okay? You have a choice here. I'm going to give you a hypothetical. You can either have someone consume real child porn or Lolly. Which one would you prefer?
lolly, but it's a false dichotomy because we don't
It's
need
not
to
a
give
false
them
dichotomy.
either.
It's in the real fucking world. This is a fucking therapy that's happening in Germany right now.
No,
Weaning people on real child porn onto lolly, which is
that's
less
not happening in the real world right now.
It's happening in the real world. It is happening in the real world.
Okay, sorry.
Unplug.
Right. Someone respond. I don't want to get involved. Just go.
There's no situation where the only two choices is that. That's fucking insane.
Let's just test the principle then. It's really easy. Peter, if it could be proved that lolly would reduce recidivism, would you be for it or no?
Oh man, this is so fucking annoying here. Oh, bro.
Sorry, let's just test the principle then. It's really easy. Peter, if it could be proved that lolly would reduce recidivism, would you be for it or no?
You have to prove that for me to say that.
That's what I said. If it's a hypothetical.
That's a hypothetical, you dumb fuck.
You're walking past the contradiction. You're not.
Engage the hypothetical. Come on, Peter. Come on, Peter.
The fact that you're struggling to answer that question just speaks.
Come on, Peter.
The fact that you're struggling to answer that question just speaks to the fucking speed of Hunter brain rot.
Dude, look at his face while this is all going on as well.
The fact that you're struggling to answer that question just speaks.
His fucking face here. Look at him, man.
The fact that you're struggling to answer that question just speaks to the fucking speed of Hunter brain rot.
Absolutely not. Okay? Fucking no.
Come on, Peter.
Absolutely not. Because that's not going to happen.
How would you feel if you didn't have breakfast this morning, Peter? How would you feel?
Period. It's not going to happen. That's fucking insane.
So he's still not engaging. He's still not engaging with the question. He's saying no because it won't reduce recidivism. It's like, okay, but if it did,
project which promotes the idea that sexualization and sexual acts towards children are okay.
It's a really good thing I asked as a hypothetical, isn't it?
This was actually sad. He's like got like dementia or something.
It's a really good thing I asked it as a hypothetical.
Oh man, you're showing yourself, Peter, dude.
This is rough.
Oh yeah,
Holy
man.
shit.
Oh man. Oh, people are gonna think I look horrible with that one.
Listen, dude, Peter, I understand you have to be flexible.
We don't know if it would reduce recidivism. If you're not joking, I strongly advise you to. I'm on a TOS arc, okay? We're gonna be TOS friendly, and we're not gonna say what you should do, but do be in my donations. We probably have some amazing advice for you if I pulled one of them up right now. That's all I'll say.
To kick yourself in the balls, but being totally spineless is a bad look, bro. Come on now. That's the fucking hypothetical.
I want that. Okay, let's be real. Let's be real.
Peter, I understand you have to be flexible to kick yourself in the balls, but being totally spineless is a bad look, bro. Come on now. That's the fucking hypothetical.
Fuck off! I just told you you're fucking pedophiles, you piece of shit.
Answer the hypothetical, bro. Come on. That's so hard.
Okay, here's the problem with the hypothetical. It's bullshit. It's bullshit.
Okay, but if it could be proven, yes or no?
It's an ideological product that portrays the sexualization and sexual acts towards children as good, as something you are to be titillated by. And I think
without the virtue signaling, yes or no? Yes or no without the virtue signaling?
No, it doesn't. It's a fucking
Would
depiction.
you be for lolly?
Like,
sorry, what?
Okay, whoa.
What's the question?
Kuihman?
What's the question? I didn't hear the question.
Oh, now you're answering questions?
Yes or no? Would you be for lolly if it would reduce recidivism, if that was proven?
That's a horseshit
yes
dichotomy because it's not going to
answer that question.
No.
He can't do it. He can't do it. That's so crazy. Okay, Almighty Porkchop. I would like you, please, I request, remove yourself from the chat room. Google hypothetical, unless you're trolling me. Unless now you're actually trolling me. I can't tell. I seriously can't tell because Peter Coffin's actually doing what you're doing. I can't tell. It's not a shitty hypothetical, and I'm not getting one guide because it is something that someone on the panel was literally saying. So it was a disagreement that was actually had. So it's not really a one guy. It's the topic of conversation right now. Little bro had breakfast, on God. You know Peter never misses breakfast. Well, that wouldn't happen because I Never miss breakfast. Okay, I've got a. I don't understand what anyone's confused about. Yeah, Almighty Pork Chop's trolling me. Yes, yeah. I'm getting tone indicators from the dots and the exclamation marks. I'm realizing now he is trolling me. You've made me. That's what you've done here. You've made me tired.
You won't engage. You won't engage.
Looks like he was refusing.
Hypothetical. Bitch, what the fuck?
Please, can I just end this for everyone? Please, can I just end this?
Answer to it is
Talk for yourself. Take this all out, man.
Listen.
Chud, I've got stats. I've got stats.
Oh shit.
Stats.
Okay, go on.
Let me hit you with
the
stats.
Go on.
Oh god, I forgot that beating. I think I referenced it in this. I think Peter, are you a bit too tired to be here? Is it a bit too late for you?
So in Japan, right, they make real dolls shaped like children. Okay, pretty much every other country in the world bans the import of these real dolls shaped like children. In Japan, CSA, child sexual assault for females, ranges from 10 to 60%. In the UK, the number is 1 in 20.
Oh my god, this is the dumbest fucking.
There's no other
issue with this shit.
That makes total sense. You're really smart, actually. You're really smart.
Personally, I think it's crazy that Falcon from Game Ranks came on to argue about Lolly. Isn't that crazy? That's nuts to me, personally. What was this that was here? This was the retarded Grand Design stats bit, wasn't it? This was fucking hilarious.
Children. In Japan, real dolls shaped like children, okay? Pretty much every other country in the world bans the import of these real dolls shaped like children. In Japan, CSA, child sexual assault for females, ranges from 10 to 60%.
10 to 60. 10 to 60. What a range. Yeah, so it's somewhere between 1 and 1 million. Oh man, amazing stats. I love it, man. I love it.
In the UK, the number is 1.
Yeah, it's that Japan does have a real problem. I don't disagree with you. It has a problem with sexual assault, and it goes underreported. 100% agree. That's a retarded statistic to pull out, though. 10 to 60.
In 20.
Oh my god, this is the dumbest fucking.
The number is Wales, ranges from 10 to 60%. In the UK, the number is 1 in 20.
Oh my god, this is the dumbest fucking.
1 in 20. 1 in 20. So 5%. So 5%, you mean? So you mean 5%? Couldn't do that conversion in his head on the fly, I guess.
There's no other
issue with this shit.
That makes total sense. You're really smart, actually. You're really smart.
Wait. Sorry,
It's
pretty obvious.
Dude, I was just so snide. Oh man, I was such a prick.
Talk about the correlation and causation.
Oh my god,
problem. It's right here.
Yeah, that was it. That was the stupidest fucking thing I've ever heard someone say using stats, bro. I'm sorry. Look, there's so many...
I'm fine with correlations. I think it's an entirely normal thing to draw conclusions.
All right, well, explain to you problem. We can't give you a stats 101 right now, bro. I'm sorry, but that was rough.
Because the counter to that is that in Japan, like Japan has had a problem with fucking child abuse for fucking decades, and actually, as pornography, including lolly, has gotten more available since the 60s and 70s, overall child abuse has actually gone down. If you just extend the time window.
Same in the Czech Republic, same in Denmark. Every time you fucking ban child pornography, not child pornography. Actually, also there were studies on child pornography. But every time you ban lolly depictions of child pornography, you do end up with more sex crime against children. And every time,
yeah, that's the thing. I hate the bringing in stats unless you're literally disputing a specific point of stats. This is all like arguments about your ethical system, as gay as that is to say. That's what it's all about. It's all like ideological. I don't know why you're bringing in a bunch of fucking stats unless it's like literally. Unless you're literally disagreeing about a fact of the matter that you have a disagreement on, that you know can be proven by stats, because the rest of it's all just like this interpretation shit. It's like it's just no point. You might as well say, if this is the case, I would believe that.
When you unban it,
So what you're saying is that lolly porn is the Great Wall against the White Walkers. Right?
Unfortunately, what I'm saying is that those capital P, and this is my interpretation, these capital P pedophiles, they need something to. And look, Peter, I get what you're implying. Okay, you keep invoking a hidden.
Yeah, it's like it's a super ham-fisted rhetorical flair to just like throw out stats. We're like, well, I know the numbers, so I must be right. It's like, no, dude, you're like retarded. You're just kind of throwing shit at the wall and seeing what sticks. Ban pedo stuff makes it happen more. I think that's stupid swag, isn't it? More like, I don't know.
Third option, which is you just want to castrate or kill pedophiles, which fair enough. But the problem is that if you put them into hiding because the punishment is so severe, you just end up increasing the actual harm being done to children because none of them go to seek help because the help they're going to get is fucking castration or a bullet. So you need to give them some way for them to point themselves.
You're layering on 100. Hang on, you're layering on 100 different things here. Yeah, obviously, like we shouldn't be treating people who avow like pedophilic tendencies in such a way as they are afraid to get treatments that the only thing they do is eventually crack and whatever. But there's a number of additional problems that you're probably not thinking of that go down the line. Let's run with your assumption that that's true. It reduces recidivism. Sure. But what happens when socially we lose, for example, that categorical distinction between abuse or the potential for abuse of children versus other categories of people?
I have an answer for that, actually, Sunday.
Well, I'm not sure that you do because I wasn't finished my point. Like, what happens if once that breaks down, and for example, it starts to become increasingly normal to see these dolls in people's houses and to not have a negative reaction to it, so that stigma is gone. But here's the problem.
Hold on, you're literally appealing to the exact thing I'm saying, which is that we need to not have it be criminalized, but it does need to be socially stigmatized. That is the difference. We need to make lolly unacceptable socially, but if you criminalize it, then it actually ends up resulting in more harm.
Decriminalization. Wait, hang on. Decriminalization is a destigmatization.
Correct. I agree, which is why you need to maintain a strong wall of social stigmatization.
With what? The force? What are you talking about?
With the force of Chud Logic screaming that people are pedophiles. That's how you do it. Actually, he's a bulwark against real pedophilia by screaming.
Okay, but Bug. Here's hang on, please,
Chud. Please stop. Listen, I'm obviously been hyperbolic. Okay, you fucking retard. Okay, I'm obviously against the Mama Max. I don't like pedo shit.
Yeah, you think that wasn't a joke? Jesus Christ.
Yeah, sorry. Stop making jokes about me and focus on the panel. I'm trying to moderate this shit show of a conversation, please.
All right. Sorry, I didn't actually think that you were the single thing.
Just focus on the conversation with Sunday. Go.
All right. What I'm saying is that you need to maintain the social stigmatization while also not decriminalizing.
Like, why even say something this retarded? If you need lolly to prevent yourself from banging kids, you should delete. Like, why say something that retarded? They're obviously not going to. So why don't you like engage with the point? Like, this is the issue, right? Is when you say retarded shit like that, it seems like you don't actually, you have actually no interest in the actual issue. You have no interest in what will actually make less kids get raped. You just care about like sounding good or being able to say something edgy. Well, that's fine, but don't pretend like you care. Don't pretend like you're actually engaging. Don't pretend like you've actually thought about this. Don't pretend like you believe anything. Don't pretend you've thought about it for more than 5 seconds. Because you don't. You're just like a brainless retard just spouting off things that kind of sound good to you and that you think will get you social credit.
Okay, look, I understand. Listen, Bug, I understand the argument of, look, we'll just magically maintain the good parts while breaking down all of the other parts with which it is systematically intertwined. Okay, but that doesn't necessarily work. Now, for example, there are positive ways in which legalization is also destigmatization. This is one of the reasons why, for example, access to abortion is often responded to like, no, actually, it's my right, it's legal, Because there was a point in time when it wasn't. There's a reason why the same argument's made about things like non-heterosexual sexual relationships or sex out of wedlock or things like that. Same exact deal.
I have no interest in entertaining lolly. You're right. So you're just fine with kids being raped. Okay, cool. Good to know.
Legalization is a statement that this is a thing you are permitted to do. If you are permitted to do it, then basic liberal principles are like, yeah, this is the thing you should not be shamed for doing. This is your right. There is like it's not absurd to be concerned about that.
Yes.
No, I agree, but you need to do both.
Look at Portland with drugs. Look at what's happened there. Look at what things look like. Look at the problems of drugs going way, way, way up. Why is that?
Okay, but look at
Because-
Portugal before the budget cut, right?
Sorry, what?
True.
Was it Portugal that decriminalized drugs, I think? And they had a whole council to kind of like some kind of government entity to kind of determine that, but then at some point they cut the budget and it totally fucked up everything, right?
I said
As in when they
Portland.
decriminalized and they had
So there's a
appropriate
right way
funding
and
for
there's
the
a wrong
alternative
way. That's what I'm
programs,
saying.
Where's the evidence to even entertain this argument? It's not an argument on the evidence. It's an argument on the ideology. But nice try.
Well, with Portugal, they decriminalized it in drugs in like 2001, and then HIV infections from like drug use went down, like addiction issues went down. They solved all their problems, but then the problem now is that the budgets for those alternative systems to help people with drugs got cut. So yeah, it's basically a counter to what.
Let's get back on track. Come on, right?
Well,
so
it's not a counter because the.
I mean, it
programs
is.
that were
It's
in
literally
place-
a counter.
Wait,
No,
wait,
it's
okay,
not,
going back
because
to the
they had
lolly stuff, right?
specific
I'm saying there's
things-
a right way to
they
do it
had-
and there's a wrong way to do it, right? Like, there's nuance there, and you have to explore that. But for you to kind of paint it all as like bad is kind of like anti-intellectual,
well,
I guess.
here's
I
the
don't know.
thing. With
it's
Portugal,
all
they
bad.
had systems in. Listen. In Portugal, they had systems in place to attempt to
Dude,
get
I can't
people
believe Nick Deorio was in the fucking Holocaust music. It's so funny, man.
off of.
I saw that show. I was sitting there just looking at my phone. I was like, man, this guy is just so fucked in the head.
drugs. Okay, that's the difference.
Yeah, so we can have
okay?
that
But they removed the stigma. They decriminalized it. That was the point.
And the point is to get people off.
Peter, please
of
stop screeching.
child
Hold on.
pedophilia.
That's literally what I
Stop
just
fucking
said.
talking over me, you piece of shit.
There
Fuck
is
off.
literally. This is literally what's. This is literally
Dude,
what I was
Peter Coffin, such a sped.
Are you
Shut
okay?
the fuck up!
You okay?
Shut the fuck up!
Okay?
Shut the fuck up!
You okay?
Sorry,
Nicholas,
You're
please, can
right.
you
Jesus,
exit?
you're gonna
Nicholas,
fuck,
wait,
dude.
this is important. This is important. I'm gonna need to moderate this. Nicholas, please exit the Holocaust Museum in Fortnite. Please, thank you. Sorry. Please get back to it, guys. Come on. Please continue.
Goddamn.
Where were we?
You just
There
saved
are
me.
things that
Goddamn.
are in place, getting people off of child pornography.
That's what we're
which
talking
they are
about. People
not.
getting off, bro. Exactly.
That's what we're saying.
Giving
That's
them
what we're
child
talking
pornography
about.
is
What
not
the
getting them off child pornography.
Okay, but Peter, sorry, let's just try this really chill, okay? Just for a second. Let's do 30 seconds of no screaming, okay? This is fact.
Don't
There are.
interrupt me then.
Okay, I won't.
Here, I'll just talk over you while you
Can we
try
have
to talk.
30
and see if you
seconds of
don't get
silence for
irritated.
the Holocaust?
No,
so
food
anyway.
shops, please.
Food Chops won. Food Chops won. Jesus.
Please don't chip in with your shitty jokes. Please, we
Okay.
just continue
All
on.
right. So anyway, there are genuinely anonymous facilities in Germany that are trying to get pedophiles anonymously into therapy to get them away and reduce the likelihood of them doing real child sexual assault or consuming real child pornography. This is a real thing that exists in the world, okay? There are currently studies where they are basically using lolly to get them away from actual CP, which causes real harm, and actual
Chops the only Asian with a gay.
child sexual assault, and they're using it as a therapeutic method
Oh,
to wean them away from the stuff that's harmful towards stuff that's less harmful, with a view to eventually getting them away from pedophilia. Now, this sounds like it should
Hang
be
on, have they
something good.
successfully
did they
weaned
start doing
someone?
this?
How?
I don't know. Unfortunately, the study's still ongoing. I'm just saying that an attempt
So
is
there
being made
aren't
to do
results
this.
yet. We don't know.
Okay,
if
so
it
hang on.
works.
There was a,
Yeah, so
there was
the
a
study. No, but Smug. What you're citing here. What you're. Hang on. What you're Smug. What you're citing here. Smug. What you're.
If this
just
program is,
stop for a
I think
sec.
this should be burned
What you're
to the ground.
citing.
I'm just
So,
asking
Smug,
Peter
what
to burn
I
to
know
the
you're
ground.
just asking, but what you're citing here as evidence is literally just, hey guys, they're
No
showing
evidence.
some pedophiles child pornography right now. That's not an argument in favor of doing it. That's just what they're doing. Come back in a couple of years.
Let's just present it as a hypothetical again.
Yeah,
And
literally
again,
is.
because
Yeah,
because
I'm just-
you can just ask it as a
Me.
because the way that
Yeah,
you're
it doesn't
saying it,
respond to
the way you're
hypotheticals.
saying it, Pierre, makes me want to ask.
We've been talking the whole point.
The way you're saying it, Pierre, makes me want to ask then, like if someone hypothetically could get moved off from like watching real CP to just watching lolly, that's a pretty substantial improvement, isn't it?
I think that's
Well,
a
Peter
different
doesn't
thing,
think
though.
so.
That's a different direction. We're talking about
That's
different
exactly what I
directions
said.
Well,
That's the
no, you
exact
said getting people
hypothetical.
off CP by giving them CP as if to give like real CP and lolly the same moral weight. Like that sounded like what you were saying earlier. Did you think he was saying getting people off of lolly and giving them real CP was? That's not what you don't think he was saying that.
No, he
King
just couldn't bite the
Stylo,
bullet
bro.
earlier because he-
Stylo is based. Okay, Stylo owns you. Stylo owns you. You just hate black magnificence. That's the problem.
knew he'd look like a fucking idiot.
Fuck me, dude. Jesus.
I
Just
said
to be
the
clear,
word
not
because
idiot, pedophile.
I-
Everyone looks like
Sorry,
pedophile.
well,
Yeah, in all seriousness, Nick is completely right. That's exactly what it looks like.
Okay, I have a serious question. I have a hypothetical.
Like any normal person who listens to this thinks that all you guys are pedophiles.
Let's reverse the hypothetical. Are you going to talk about elderly porn? Because I'm ready.
No. It is.
Oh, okay.
What would you say is better for these pedos in remission? Then should they have access to the finest lolly from Japan, or should they have access to an unlimited AI engine from which they can generate their own images?
Look, the ethics of AI CP is fucked up. Obviously, there is a database out there. Here's the pedo logic. There is a database out in the world filled with child pornography that they use to track down other child pornography, right? As they use it to pull that shit off the internet. So in theory, there is already this database out there. You could theoretically train an AI model on it and then produce unlimited ethical CP to use therapeutically that results in no further harm. And hopefully this would reduce both the demand for real child pornography and it would reduce...
Oh, dude, this Granddad's Lounge guy's got ear stretchers as well. Oh, this guy's
and it could potentially be used as a way to help pedophiles wean off of potential.
This guy is hiding something. He's hiding something.
You assume it's a one-way street. Hang on. Wait. Slow down. I want to ask a question. It's actually kind of an important one.
Victimizing prior victims is the harm.
Okay, Bug.
I agree.
Bug. Bug, please shut up for a sec. Bug.
I'm talking to
Bug, please. You've already established, right? This is your argument. That we know that people will, in one direction, seek out more and more extreme porn based on exposure. What principle do you have to argue that they will magically go in the other way just because you've shown them a less extreme version afterwards?
Yeah, that's a really good point. It honestly takes in the same way that there are
it shouldn't be if you're making your argument. There should be
do you want the answer or do you want to fucking chill?
Hey, real quick. Okay, I gotta go pick up my kids. I gotta go pick up my kids. So
this was the wrong panel to say that.
Your kids, your kids, please say your kids, your biological children.
Okay, so Peter.
I'm just saying bye to all of you, and also calling half of you pedophiles. Bye.
Wonderful.
To be honest, that's statistically probably true in content creation.
I can guarantee he has the most degenerate fucking porn history of anyone.
Absolutely. Oh my god.
People who talk like that are the fucking worst.
It's all ball crushing. It's all ball crushing.
He's not taking the Destiny outfit off after 6 years. That's just fucking crazy to me.
Oh, sorry, Sunday. What was the fucking thing you asked? Oh yeah, sorry, sorry. Why?
Okay, sorry. So yeah,
ask again, sure.
Okay, so your argument earlier in the conversation was that people will seek out more and more extreme stuff based on the stuff that they've been exposed to already. But I haven't seen any argument for a principle besides an assertion that giving them less extreme stuff will lead them away from it. Assuming
that's a super good point.
Assuming very quickly that the difference between child pornography and lolly is a matter of extremity and not style.
Yeah. So that is true.
Galaxy S6, dude. I've got it's one of the A series. It's do you know the A series ones? It ain't an S, bro. Trust me.
If you were to just throw a bunch of lolly at them, then you are correct. It's likely that they could go into other extremes or even further down the kind of youth pipeline. But what we're saying is that therapeutically, in the same way that people use sex addiction therapies to get away... Huh? Yes, the youth pipeline. Sexually, sorry, the lolly pipeline. Is that more closer to your taste?
Please stop making faces. They're not pretty.
The problem with with doing that without therapy is that it will actually end up resulting in potentially more extreme habituation. So you need to combine it with therapy, right? It doesn't work without the therapy. You need to essentially.
Well, I thought you were arguing that the lolly was a component of the therapy. Yes.
Yes, yeah. So
what do you combine with exposing people to more drawn CP to make them less inclined towards CP?
Anti-addiction therapies, right? Like that would be what you would be doing. It would be essentially moving them away from the sex
but you don't go into withdrawal from porn though. That's not how that works. It's not the same thing.
You don't go into physical withdrawal, but you could. I mean, it's
but that's kind of important though, because the reason why they administer drugs to you in a rehab is because you will actually die in some cases if you're not weaned off.
I think Vosh
this is
would
not the
die
case
if
with
he
porn.
His horses. Like if his horses weren't there, I think
if you're trying to wean people off of anything addictive that isn't physical, people. Like, you still need methodologies to reduce their. Look, I'm not an addiction counselor, so I
50 cc's of lolly right into the wrist.
Basically, yeah, you have to actually give them 50 cc's of lolly. Unfortunately, it seems like that is a potential method.
Is there a child in the room?
There is no.
This is the case. This is the case with porn addiction, isn't it? Like porn addiction therapy.
You put them behind a cage.
Yeah, like porn addiction therapy. I'm pretty sure is about.
Like, subscribe, dono, Queen, we need a new phone, donate to the Kuihman fund, $10 for the Beast Boy video, 20 for Gaza Disaster. I think, should I not... I'm wondering, should the Beast Boy video not be more? I'm worried that the Tokyo Ghoul theme song is copyrighted. I mean, it doesn't matter at this point, because I've already played it. I don't know if it's distorted enough to maybe avoid it. $3,000 at Kuihman to Cat Noise Your Name. Not falling for that one, but yeah, $3,000. I would probably do that.
Out like reducing frequency, like over.
Yeah, I think it always had the music.
That's the whole point.
Yeah, but
I don't think they make it cold turkey on fucking porn.
I think the best answer for
but
porn
you're not
exposure is bullying. I think people shouldn't be like proud of the things they look at.
That's my exact fucking take,
more,
dude.
It would help them.
Bully
Well, we're not even talking about
pedophiles,
being proud right
them
now.
into
We're
No, I don't.
about
Hold on, no. Pedos, no, they a little more harsh on those people. Just general people who just talk about what they watch on. Like their daily porn intake. Those people are pretty weird.
Oh, true. Yeah, no, I'm anti-degeneracy. Actually, I fucking hate it when people talk about their porn shit. No one fucking cares.
Unfortunately, these people not on Steam.
Everyone's super
What's
open
going on here? What's their problem? Why are they not? Why are they wasting a life force? What's their problem? It's kind of shameful. These people are even admitting that they watch porn. It's kind of disgusting.
Cool, so we all agree.
Okay, I've destroyed my voice, Chud. Thanks for having me on. Cheerio.
Pleasure. Thanks.
Bye-bye.
See ya.
Oh, sorry, I missed a donation because it also got filtered. $6.90 from Jeffrey Epstein. Thank you for defensive lolly. Your ticket on the Lolita Express is secured. An assortment of nubile quote-unquote teens have been added to your account as your specific age requirements. 14.
I have a
Make
question for
shame
you.
great again.
Yeah, sure, Lena, what's up?
Is your take about Vosh's lolly thing that you think the better thing for him to do would be to say I've got a problem and get therapy for like in lolly horses?
Yeah, sure.
Has any influencer who claims they've gone to therapy shown proof that they've ever been to therapy ever?
Well, what I want to know is what
kill
does
them,
that
man.
look
You
like?
can't
What does a
kill the
therapist
idea.
do if you tell them you're into lolly? Does anyone know?
I've got no fucking idea. You know,
There are some buzzwords like,
right?
guys, I'm getting help
The
with
answer
it,
is that
and no one
there
questions
isn't.
it.
I'm pretty sure they feed you head first into wood chipper, no?
No, there is. What the fuck? Shut the fuck up, food shops. You have no idea what the fuck you're talking about. Yes,
From
there
Lolly
absolutely.
No, wait. Stop.
No,
Chris,
some
food
shit
shops.
about-
Wait, hold up.
Wait,
With no
hold
fucking
up.
idea what you're talking about.
Hold up.
Sorry.
Mark.
Can I just want to respond because I was asked
Yeah.
a question just very quickly. Okay, Lonerbox. Here's the thing, right?
It takes me so long to get background because now Chud and Lonerbox have this massive argument, but I wanted so badly to get onto the POCD thing there. Holy fuck.
I'm an expert in this stuff. I don't claim to be, and I've never said to be. I just think that the stuff he's looking at is indicative that there's something fucked in his head, and he should probably seek some assistance for it. That's the long and the short of it. I'm not here to diagnose him or fucking tell him what his fucking therapy regime should be. I've got a very simplistic layman's view on this, and I'll happily fucking admit
But
that.
I'm asking, so maybe two questions. One is, would you still believe that if his interest actually did just begin and end at the cartoons, and that was only that's where it ends for him?
I don't know. I mean, I still think it's pretty fucked to look at that kind of thing, and I struggle to believe. I mean, if hypothetically he was literally just looking at that, and you could guarantee that's the only thing he'd ever look at, possibly, yeah. But like, I don't know, man. I still think it's pretty fucked. And
Okay, and the second thing is, I feel like I want to know this now. Maybe we should. Is there not like an experiment we can do? Is it unethical to like
Okay,
hire
someone
a
did this.
therapist
There was a
and pretend
streamer
you
who
like
did this.
lolly so that to see what happens?
Lonerbox, you're being a debate pedophile right now, I feel, because you're creating all these hypotheticals. Oh, what if this is hypothetical? Well, that's sorry. Go on.
Wait, please let him fucking finish. Holy shit.
All right. Someone did a thing where they filmed the guy's penis and they showed him multiple pictures, and if he got hard, he was a pedo.
Amazing.
Vosh should have to do that on stream.
There are drugs that you can take to help with alcohol addiction. You can also
it's like
take
you're asking me. It's like you're asking me.
wait.
Okay, it's like you're asking me. This is hypothetical. If you said to me, "Oh, you can give a pedo a pill and it guarantees they'll never hurt a child again," right? Should they be punished for that? Well, maybe not. Maybe it's better that they just take the pill and they can go back and they're never going to hurt a child again. But it's this kind of absurd hypothetical that exists outside of reality. And I don't know enough about the reality of it to say for certain, but it seems to me that exists so far outside of reality.
There is a drug.
Okay, can I explain the reality?
what I was-
real
that's-
quick?
that's what I was asking you.
Hold on,
The reality
please.
is also that
Can I
there's no
just
conversion
give us
therapy.
wait? Hold on. There are two options, right? There's CBT, which is shown to be fairly effective, and if that doesn't work, then you do take the pill and you do chemical castration. Those are basically the two paths that you have for dealing with pedophilia in the mainstream
Wait, did you say
right now.
CBT?
Yes,
Like the-
CBT.
Cock and ball torture. Yes.
Cognitive behavioral therapy. You
Oh, I
fucking
thought you were
retard.
talking about the weed,
Jesus
substitute.
No, now we know what your porn interest is. Holy shit! How is that the first thing you fucking thought?
I thought you were talking
Fuck me,
about.
bro.
I thought you were talking
Alright.
about like the weed substitute. Like,
You
just take
and Peter
CBD.
in the same pipeline of
CBD,
bullshit
yeah.
porn. God damn, bro. That's look
Dude,
at
they've
this
been
up.
taking their
Wait,
CBD.
hold up. Hold on, one second. Food shops, you actually could talk about this probably, right? Because you went to your therapist for POCD and they told you to look at Lolly,
no.
didn't they? Right?
Yeah, but there's a difference between POCD and actual pedophilia, right? Like
Yeah,
POCD is
they
a
are.
mental
Sure,
Wait, hold on,
but your
can someone
therapist,
define that
but
term?
your
What does that
therapist
term
told you to
mean?
look at Lolly, didn't
Wait,
they?
Deorio,
Right?
shut the fuck up. Yeah, what's it? Can you repeat the question?
Me?
Your
Or-
therapist told you to look at Lolly, right?
It was more like this, right? It's that okay, it's a long explanation. It's too much for this panel. But if you want to
No, no.
Wait, can you
We're here,
start
we've
with
got time, we
defining
want
the
to hear it.
term? Because
Oh
no
my
one in
God.
chat knows what that is. Can someone define the term?
POCD is pedophile OCD. You have intrusive thoughts about pedophilia. You're not actually a pedophile, but because it's such a like upsetting intrusive thought, it tends to be one that people seek help for because they're not actually attracted to it. But
So they told you to look at
Lolly.
Lolly so you can like realize your full potential.
That I have no fucking idea why they told you to look at Lolly for that. I've never heard of that being part of the therapy for POCD. But please go on.
I just want to say, I feel like
yeah,
food
we
shops
wanna
is
hear
a
the
perfect
story.
example. I think food shops is a perfect example of why people don't do this, right? Because it seems like, at least according to food shop's own story, it seems like she's done. all
Oh
the
man, the fucking moralite Lonerbox. Give me a break.
right things if you have these thoughts, and people still fucking called her a pedo.
No,
Like-
food shops is self-treated.
Oh my God,
Watching
thank you.
Lolly and didn't go to a
Oh.
therapist, Loner. You don't know the law. Don't say that, Loner. Please don't say that, dude.
Wait,
You
What, do I not know the lore?
You don't know the law.
Okay,
Okay,
if I don't know
alright.
the lore, you can tell me the lore. But okay.
Anyway, isn't the whole
Jesus.
point, at least my
let's
take is
just-
that we should continue to bully food shops for being a pedophile if they're a pedophile, but we should
She's so
criminalize it. That's it.
professional. She's self-treated by watching Lolly and fapping to it. She's just a pedo, bro. She's
Wait,
just a
we should-
pedo.
Wait, wait, you wanna
have you watched
decriminalize
my
it?
recent video on it? Like,
I don't think anyone has.
It's
It's probably going
an
40
allegation.
views, hasn't it?
Yeah, I didn't even realize this happened. I didn't realize that's what that was. I thought it was just a response to her Vosh, to the Vosh video. I thought that's all it was. But no, apparently the context video. This is her own context.
In November, I confessed on stream that I consumed problematic content. I was panicked and flustered when I tried to explain it to the internet space I was in. You know? Probably out of my top 5 or top
I feel like this whole thing, it's like
proof is of that point, okay? Is this. So, I do have POCD. I do have OCD. And basically, it's the same thing with HOCD, which is like homosexual OCD, right? Where a person is loopingly anxious about them being themselves, being a gay person, right? The thought kind of, what is this? This is so...
Dude, she can't talk about it. It's
so
insufferable.
it is unclean. And the relief would be washing your hands. So when you wash your hands, that is the temporary satisfaction. Okay, that's a temporary kind of a ritual, right? That's a ritual. And then you will feel as though that, you know, the anxious thoughts go away because you're like, oh my God, I washed my hands. So therefore, you know, the anxious thoughts went away, right? Now, see, that's the trap, okay? Is because when you wash your hands, you're actually validating the thoughts that you have and the paranoia that you have about you being...
This comment, man. People are spending too much time online and they're consuming too much porn. Your brain has become desensitized to normal sex due to how much porn you're watching. I would switch to vlogging while being outside so you can get away from that stuff. Oh, man. Everyone with this kind of lighting is a PDF. Hey, food shops. The event gets a line. What was your therapist's name? I need to report them to the FBI. Jesus.
Well, you're just a fucking pedo.
We just want to hear the story. We want to hear the story. Why not just tell us the story of when you went to your therapist and they told you to look at Lolly? That's what we want to hear.
Okay,
What was
sure.
the
Go for it,
justification?
quickly.
Do you know how
Can we get their
OCD works?
credentials?
It was a child. They have no credentials yet.
Wait, hold on. If you guys are just gonna make fun of me, like it's a
Sorry.
long
No one's making
explanation,
fun.
right?
It's a non-judgmental area. Okay.
Okay, we're
Okay.
gonna do
All right,
non-judgmental for 3 minutes.
let's do it. Let's do it. Hold on. So with OCD, right? You have cycles of obsession, rituals, and ruminating, right? So especially if you have POCD, right? You are ruminating about the anxiety of being a pedophile. It doesn't mean you're an actual pedophile. It means that you have the anxiety of being one, right? Just like how, ace person can totally have the anxiety of being somebody else as well. And there's lots of religious people out there with OCD who have the rumination of the fear of being gay.
Yeah. So the thing is that apparently people with POCD will search out CSAM sometimes to like do it in a sort of like obsessive compulsive behavior where they're essentially checking themselves to try and disprove to themselves that they're a pedophile. And that's the thing that does happen with people who suffer severe POCD. But if you're in food shops scenario, this doesn't really make much sense, because if you seek out lolly to test if you're a pedophile or not, and then you jerk off to it again and again and again and again, wouldn't that just convince you more that you're a pedophile?
Gay, right? That's very common. So what I'm saying is that I would like to draw a distinction between these two, right? Does that make sense?
You haven't told the story. You haven't told the story. I want to hear the story.
Are you familiar with Todd Nickerson?
If you're worried you're a paedophile, you don't go and then fact to child porn, you sick freak.
No, it's a complicated
And that's 3
subject,
minutes
right?
of judgment. Holy shit! So why did your therapist say that you should look at lolly because you have POCD? This is not something I've ever heard of before. Like, what was their explanation or justification for this?
So basically, the whole point is that if there are things out there that remind you of children, right, it will bring you a lot of anxiety because you're reminded of that, and you basically induce the anxiety that you may or may not be a pedophile, right? You begin to ruminate. So we have things that cause you to ruminate, right? For example, somebody who has HOCD, which is like homosexual, like OCD or whatever the fuck, right? Because they're afraid of being gay, right?
Those people are
they
just
will
gay.
begin
Stop
to
showing this
whenever
fucking
they
disgusting
see,
bigotry,
for
you
example,
freak.
hold on, can I just finish? You said you would give me time, Jesus.
Man, I feel like I did hear a lot of this. I'm like kind of bored of watching this right now.
Okay, so for example, if they see a fucking rainbow flag, they'll be like, oh my God, oh shit, this reminds me of that thought. They get intrusive thoughts, right? And intrusive thoughts is that, okay, I might or may not be gay. Does that make sense?
If you've got intrusive thoughts about sucking dick, it's called being
But if
gay.
you watch-
Trust me, as a bisexual man.
Hold on.
Right, yeah, the granddad's just like, oh, man.
Genuine question.
Hold on,
So when
can
you
I finish?
self-explained,
Can I
what was
finish?
the
Okay,
explanation?
hold on. You wanted to give me time, right? So I'll finish.
Yeah, what
Okay,
was
that's
the
what I'll do.
justification? You still haven't explained. I'm
What would the
trying to
therapist
understand.
say to the gay person? Like, what would be their like angle there? Would they actually
Okay,
watch
okay,
gay
hold
porn?
on. I can answer that. So for example, if you look at a flag, right? Like especially with a gay person, right? They'll try to avert their eyes, right? Because they don't want to get the intrusive thoughts in the first place.
That's wonderful.
People with OCD don't want to get the intrusive thoughts in the first place. So instead, a fucking therapist will tell that gay person, just look at the gay flag, just do it, right? The same thing is with lolly and POCD. If looking at lolly induces the anxiety and the rumination in a way that is the CBT, no, not the cock and ball torture, the fucking cognitive behavioral therapy, right? Basically, if it induces thoughts of anxiety, what will happen is that you can basically build up a tolerance to anxiety against the pedophilia or whatever the fuck, right? Does that make sense?
Don't most people
That sounds like desensitization.
It sounds like vaccines. Like you're building immunity to being a pedo.
So it's not
Hang
actually
on. Hang on. This is total fucking bullshit.
I want to draw a distinction.
Whoa, hang on.
Bullshit, bro.
Go, please.
So the problem is like OCD like might give you compulsions and you might get anxiety about those compulsions. The OCD does not make you go on google.com, look up like kids fucking, or make you look up
one's saying
lollicons, download it and whack it to it.
Okay.
Like you
So,
like this is
okay,
such
so
fucking
I
bullshit
do.
cope.
Okay,
Like that is
so
an active choice for you to download and whack it to.
sure. So I can explain that. Okay. So like I explained in my video, all right, my consumption of lolly is there, but it is different. It is completely separate from the OCD factor. Does that make sense?
Well, then why did you even use that as an excuse in the
Wait.
first place? Why don't you just say I'm a fucking freak that likes to whack it to children porn?
So
Yeah,
hypothetical.
sure. I should have. Wait. I should have used that excuse in the first place, which is why I don't stand by it anymore. Does that make sense?
No, because it
I
felt like
regret
a
using
weasel.
that excuse because at the time I was panicked and I was being dogpiled by everybody for a good reason, right? I think that my wording was irresponsible. I don't think it was good.
I just want to say, I don't know the lore at all, but Foodshops, you came to the absolute wrong place to have an open discussion about this kind of shit. Like, fuck
I
me.
know it's the commentary.
The way that I'm just saying, the way that you guys.
If you have like
Alright,
gay
so,
OCD,
you know what?
right? If you're
Wait,
like,
I
if
think
you're
these
like,
boys have been pretty good.
hold on, if you have gay OCD, right, and you're afraid of being gay, and you jerk off to gay porn, and you come, aren't you just gay?
What if you edge though?
Like I said before,
Like
there
defeats the
is
entire
a
fucking purpose.
distinction and there's a difference between the OCD factor and your actual attraction or not attraction. Does that make sense?
No,
For
no, no.
example,
Yeah,
an ace.
I get that.
Hold
So,
on,
like,
hold on. Can I clarify
Yeah,
this?
yeah.
So, for example, an ace person can still have POCD. Does that make sense?
Sure.
Does that compute in your head?
Yeah, but the issue I'm having, right?
yeah, but the
is
ace
like
person
you,
wouldn't
so
jerk
like, you're
off to it, that's
afraid
the
that you're
point.
gay when you see a pride flag, but if you watch full-on gay porn and you get off, wouldn't that just make you
No,
gay?
like I said before, maybe you aren't listening, all right? But like I said
No, you're
before,
not.
right? No. You guys are just being brain dead, okay? Which is fine. That's okay. All right.
But if you're
You do
not
that.
gay, wouldn't you not get
Actually,
hard?
can I ask you a reasonable question? Sorry, like, so do you think that the POCD, because I might get this, I might be getting this wrong, like whether you're a pedophile now or you identify as such or whatever, right? You jerk it to lolly. Do you think the POCD was you kind of like pre? No, I'm asking. It was like you pre-coping with the
Foodshops
fact
did
that
say
you actually did have these.
that she likes lolly whether she has PSD or not. So it's a separate thing.
Thoughts, and that was what was
So the reason-
instigating
yeah,
the anxiety?
exactly what it is.
It's
It's
a
a
separate thing.
Where
so,
did your
yes, I do-
POCD come
okay,
from, Food
okay,
Shops?
Hold
Because
on. Let me
It's
clarify.
just a
So,
fucking
Okay,
Let's
let's stop the dog pile. Let's chill. Food shops, go on.
Jesus.
okay, so I do have POCD,
Uh-huh.
and I do consume lolly, but they're two
Okay.
separate things. Does that make sense? But
Yeah.
at the time, because I was so panicked, I was using POCD as a kind of defense for my consumption of lolly.
actually,
when people
actually,
were
I think
dogpiling on me.
you have it. You're literally
Does
just
that
a
make
fucking
sense? I
pedo.
don't
You're
want
a
that.
pedo.
No.
Sorry,
Obviously, I
you're a
regret
pedo.
it.
That's all it
Obviously, I
is.
regret it,
Can I
right?
just-
But the thing
okay.
is
You're
that
just-
Yeah, this is
like,
just like Vosh.
pedos
wait,
just
wait, wait,
originally
wait,
came
wait,
from
wait,
part
pedo.
of this is
Wait,
like
wait,
Vosh.
Food
Vosh
shops
won't even
wait,
admit it's lolly.
Food
Vosh
shops.
wouldn't even admit it's lolly. What part of this
Wait,
is like
can I-
Yeah, this is not like Vosh at all.
You're
This is
lolly-
actually
That was the joke. That was
Wait,
the
what?
joke.
You
for the
guys are
record.
You're literally just a
I'm
pedo.
explaining the
Bring up
whole
the
joke,
POCD.
okay?
You
joke
You're
is
not
just
explaining
not
the
words.
whole joke.
Oh,
Your
she just
joke,
admitted it,
okay?
man.
Right, let's.
Can I just ask? Let me ask
Wait,
one more
wait,
question.
sorry. No. Okay,
You
yeah,
guys
go
are
on.
actual
She's a
clowns.
pedophile.
I think-
She just said
Wait,
it.
let's-
these are good. Wait, okay, cool. Food shops. Do you remember? Were you listening when I was talking about capital P pedophiles and lowercase p pedophiles?
What the fuck does that mean? Wait, what?
I'm just
Oh
asking
my
Food
God.
shops.
Bro, it
So
doesn't
by
fucking
your
matter. You're
definition-
doing it to fucking
by-
kids. Come
Hold
on.
on, can I? Please, you're not
Guys, they're
adding
just
anything, and you're
flaunting their
retarded,
predilections
okay?
in our
Alright,
faces.
hold on.
This is sick.
Okay,
Food
so-
shops, please. Do you, that distinction
Okay.
between people who pipelined into lolly and people who are were probably always going to be pedophiles, like more
Okay,
severely
in your
from a young age.
definition, okay, hold on. In your definition, I would count as a lower P pedophile. Yes,
That's
in
what
your
I'm saying.
definition, right? Does that make sense?
So in my
In
yeah,
Like, dude, did Stardust not say to her the other day that Stardust could not be around her if she was going to keep saying stuff like this? Was that not literally? Was she not told? Stop calling yourself a pedophile. She's like, well, lowercase p. But you get what's being said, right? It's the colloquial definition. It's not that she's got a primary and or exclusive attraction to children. It's just that she's very interested in drawn depictions of children engaging in sexual acts, is what she's saying.
definition, in my framework,
in your
it's like
definition, right? But I don't agree with calling pedophiles or whatever the fuck, right? Because the way that a pedophile is defined is an attraction towards the lack of secondary sexual characteristics. Do you recognize that?
Yeah,
it's really doing like the fucking dictionary definition game. Come on.
Fucking grammar. You're being obsessed with the definition of the word. That's not how we use it in modern parlance. We're talking English. We're using like standard definitions of words. You're a pedo.
Thank you for 5 gifted slogans. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Right?
Hey, listen, Granddad, if she's a pedo, you're a rapist. Take it easy, okay? Let her fucking speak.
Go outside and show somebody like you're fucking sick, Shoga.
Dude, he got so mad over that one. He actually got so mad over
like standard definitions of words. You're a
pedo, dude. Hey, listen, Granddad, if she's a pedo, you're a rapist. Take it easy, okay? Let her fucking speak.
Go outside and show somebody like you're fucking sick, Shoga.
Look at him, look at his face, dude. Wait, fuck.
Go outside and show somebody like you're fucking sick, Shoga.
He called me a nonce, I didn't even catch that. Bro, how am I a nonce? I don't even have an interest in lolly. I'm not a fucking lolicon guy. Like I never even said anything remotely to do with that. I was just consistency checking Chud. It's so crazy that consistency checking on lolly now makes you a pedo. That's crazy. That's crazy.
Go outside and show somebody like you're fucking sick, Shoga.
Look at him, he's so upset. I could keep playing this all day. I could keep playing this all day.
Go outside and show somebody like you're fucking sick, Shoga.
It's so fucking good.
Go outside and show somebody like you're fucking sick, Shoga.
The intro isn't sussy. None of it was sussy. It was just like retarded, and then people just were sparking out over nothing. It's just a fact that if you're against depicting sexual acts of real children, then you should be against depicting sexual acts of real children. That should be the moral the consistent position that you hold. But yeah.
Right, listen, guys.
Every 5 seconds, it's crazy.
This is funny because it's funny to watch food shops get crushed by everyone, but it is getting a bit absurd. Everyone's talking over each other, so let's just chill it down a little bit.
No, I'm fine. I can take
respond.
everybody on. It's
fine. Food shops, fucking team pedo.
Wait, food shops, have you?
Hello, and who are you? Team rape?
Oh my fucking god.
Food shops. I only had one question. Food shops. Did you? So you've been to therapy for the POCD thing, and you consume lolly separately. So have you ever told your?
I went to therapy for OCD in general, but sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
So have you? Did you?
Bro, why has he got a stepladder in his room? What's going on here? Is that a katana? Dude, I'm looking at his background now. What is going on?
Here. The lolly.
Yeah, FS did Neil Hill.
Food shops,
hello, and who are you? Team rape?
Oh my fucking god.
Food shops. I only had one question. Food shops. Did you? So you've been to therapy for the POCD thing, and you consume lolly separately. So have you ever told your?
I went to therapy for OCD in general, but sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
So does your the lolly consumption, does that come up in your therapy sessions? You don't have to tell me, but.
It came up in one session only, and only as a side tangent.
And they didn't investigate.
What did they say? Did they say they need to give you help or anything?
I didn't care.
The sort of POCD, and you don't even fucking talk about it in therapy. What?
You also admitted to Zanya that this stuff was bullshit, and she leaked those fucking DMs. Quit chatting shit.
You guys put the law.
I wonder why someone would lie and say they're not a pedophile on the internet. That's crazy,
bro.
Dude. That's
I can't believe I'm just trying to explain. That's all I'm trying to do. So hard.
Okay, listen, food shops, you're really fucking annoying, but I think you understand what you're saying. So you originally used the POCD thing as some sort of defense because you were having pressure on you, but you recognize now that was wrong. The POCD thing is different, and you accept that because you jerk it to lolly, it's reasonable that people call you a pedophile. Is that correct?
Yes, Listen, it's just I just don't agree because I'm not a I don't know what else to say.
Lowercase p pedophile. I think honestly, I think
In your
Lolicon, you're a
definition, yes,
pedo.
but nobody uses your definition.
I know.
Literally
but just-
anybody off the internet uses that definition.
No.
The problem is
maybe
everyone uses it.
Anybody that exists in
No,
real life
no, wait.
uses that
The
definition.
problem, the problem is that everyone uses that definition because people like to give the exact same moral weight to like actual child abuse as they do to fucking
True.
cartoons because
Holy
everyone
shit.
on this topic is just a fucking brain rotted pedo hunter share who
two
doesn't actually give a fuck about
pedophiles.
keeping
You're
kids
from
safe.
the
Are you guys
Just
for real?
spending
Dude,
money.
Mama Mouse
She literally said that the power difference was hot.
Sake.
That's what she said. She thought it was hot that the power difference between a kid and an adult.
Hey, look, I don't understand why you retards keep doing this. Spice my lunch. I agree that you can judge things based on severity on what's likely is. We do this with everything in life, with varying reactions depending how far over the line it is. Yes, you have a varying reaction depending on the severity of the content you're seeing. No one's disputing that. The point is about having a consistent moral belief, a consistent system for deciding when something is wrong. That's the point. I don't understand how you guys... like, am I the only one who's like... I'm losing it. I thought this is how... I thought everyone understood this stuff. I thought everyone got this. You're not saying anything. This is retarded. Everyone said that Meat Canyon video was kind of weird. Kind of weird doesn't mean anything, you stupid fuck. Kind of weird. What does that mean? Doesn't mean anything. Wrong. Morally wrong. It was morally wrong to distribute. It's not debate brained. It's about people using fucking weasel words to avoid actually taking a stance on stuff. Just going, oh, weird, gross. That's not taking a stance on stuff. I say, yes, I will say lolly is gross, but I'm describing my reaction to it. I'm describing the emotional reaction that I have to it. Then it's a separate conversation if we talk about the ethical system that we use to decide whether something is wrong. Those are two different conversations. And you can't, in the middle of a conversation where I'm saying, this is my ethical belief, you can't turn around and go, oh, well, I just think it's weird. No, you're a fucking idiot. You're operating at like 60 IQ. You are functionally retarded and need to be a ward of the state.
Fucking is what she thinks is hot. Like that's
regular people with differentials in sex as well. Granddad is the same kind of degen, if that's the fucking marker we're using.
Yeah, if you think the power difference between like an 8-year-old and an adult fucking, like you're a pedophile, bro. You just are. If that's hot to you, you're a fucking
all you
pedophile.
care about is the power dynamic, then Granddad is as much a pedophile as Foodshops. It's a stupid. It's a stupid level to.
How is that fucking stupid?
Anyway, I think
fucking sexy. That's fucking pedophile shit, bro.
Retarded.
Okay. Anyway, I think it's interesting that like obviously this is a pet theory that I've made up, but actually Foodshops you kind of fit into a category that suggests that the theory isn't insane. Like there are pedophiles who are more likely to offend.
I don't think anyone said them. You see, you're still not saying anything because things being like morally good and morally. Oh man, they were. I was pressing Chud. Do you not think the thing that makes it wrong is the same? The depiction of a child in a specific child in a sex situation. Do you not think that makes both of them wrong? And the argument I kept getting was they're different. They're different. They're different. They're different. In that regard, they are not different. That was my point. I don't understand how you're struggling with this so much. I don't understand. I'm lost. I'm genuinely. It's becoming almost defeating. They're different though. Lonerbox wouldn't say that. Lonerbox wouldn't say that. Lonerbox is smarter than that. Why are you doing that on the fake account like that? That's what I think the misunderstanding was. He thought you were equating the two. You weren't giving enough room to be more specific. I mean, I just don't know how I could have been more specific. I felt like I was constantly trying to drill down, constantly questioning the point, constantly saying, this is what I'm trying to get at. This is what I'm trying to get at. I guess the issue is that people have, like, I didn't offer my positive stance of like moral condemnation of both. I guess maybe that's where it could have gone better. That's what the way I should have phrased it. I should have come in and been like, listen guys, pedo's bad. Listen guys, don't get offended. Pedo's bad, guys, okay? I'm gonna say something that might be a bit scary, but pedo's bad, okay, guys? Yeah, I guess I do have to speak to people like they're actual fucking children. Yeah. But no, but I'm never gonna do that. No, but I fucking hate that. I'm fundamentally opposed to that shit. That's what I like about Mr. Girl the most. So I don't think I'll ever do that. You think that's the real Lonerbox? Is he just in there trolling? Oh, he is. Sorry, we have a lot of fake accounts in here recently. We have a lot of fake accounts in here, so I assume that was someone pretending to be you, saying something retarded. But no, it's you trolling. Yeah, no, I'm fundamentally opposed to the couching and the flogging yourself before giving a slightly controversial take. I hate that shit. I hate that. It disgusts me. It disgusts me. I'm anti-optics. I'm fuck optics. Fuck optics. Sometimes bad optics is part of the fun. That's just the facts.
And they're the ones who tend to be, you know, are like, as I've said, like the capital P pedophiles. And then there are people who've been pipelined into Lolly, which sounds. Can I just ask, like, do you feel like you were accidentally pipelined into Lolly from those instances of you originally looking at Lolly as part of like the OCD stuff, or did that just happen completely separately, totally unconnected to OCD?
Completely separate.
Where can I ask, like, what community or whatever did that happen to you? Like, how?
Sliggans super chatted $5. $5 from Sliggans, 204 viewers and only 86 likes. Leave a like, freeloaders.
Thank you for the $5 Sliggins. And yeah, guys, remember to leave a like. Okay, guys, we've got a massive viewer to like disparity, as pointed out by Sliggins right there. 120 people freeloading. That's unfortunate. Why are you still pinned? Oh, did I leave you up? Whoops. There you go.
How did you start, if you don't mind me asking? Like, how did you start pipelining towards Lolly? What I'm asking is, like, did you start with like anime? Did you start with like anime shit and then it got younger? Did you go straight to Lolly? Like, what was the progression, if there was any? I'm asking scientifically, not to fuck with you. I promise.
Bro, I would give you an answer, but I literally do not remember. Like, it's
okay. That's fine.
I don't know what to tell you.
People don't keep track of their like porn escalation. That's fair
like,
enough.
Nobody keep track
just
of.
wanted data.
When did my incest porn addiction came in? Oh.
So I feel like even I'm getting muddled on what the argument was initially. The argument initially, okay, so here's where it stemmed from. Okay, I feel like I keep thinking that it's just an argument on the Tom Brady video. But it wasn't just an argument on the Tom Brady video, was it? It was about the Rev Says Desu video, where he was calling Meat Canyon a hypocrite for decrying Lolly while having produced sexual images of actual specific children. That was what it was about. And yeah, no, so yeah, Chud was denying that was hypocrisy because one is worse. And I was arguing that no, it has the same issue as Shadman because it's both depicting an actual real child. So yeah, that's where it started off. Yes, that was the point initially. Fuck me, it's so hard with these conversations because people just spurg out and then you get derailed onto like 500 different side tangents where it's like, well, you sound like a pedophile. You sound like a pedophile. You sound like a pedophile. And you just get derailed. Shadman went further and the intent is different. I agree, but Meat Canyon was, you know, decrying a lot of Lolly, right? He wasn't just decrying the Shadman stuff. And including an actual child. I would say pretty much any depiction of an actual child is going to be worse than a fictional depiction, even if the fictional depiction is like more extreme in some way. Because I don't think there's any, like, I think the potential for harm. Shadman's defense was also that it was satire at first. Yeah, I wish I'd known that, but I didn't follow the Shadman stuff very closely at all, so I just know the core points of it. Yeah, exactly. It's like it causes more harm. Exactly. And you can see a clearer direct line to harm. Because that can, like, fuck up a kid. Like, you think Tom Brady's kid wants to be fucking seeing that shit? You think that doesn't fuck their brain up? I mean, it probably fucks it up more that his dad's making out with him in the first place, let's be honest. But the Meat Canyon video probably doesn't help. You have to reverse the hypothetical that instead of Tom Brady kissing his kid in front of a camera crew, he had sex with that kid Would you say the same in nature but different degree? No, I think I made this point in this, is that there's the thing that makes that there would be another differentiating element that gets introduced there, where it becomes explicit sexuality. I think there's like, I think we can draw I think there is a clear line you can draw between implicit and explicit sexuality, right? Where it's like you're showing like penetrative or whatever shit on screen is like explicit, right? And then implicit is more like the Tom Brady stuff where it was like kissing and then off camera. In the Meat Canyon video. So I would say that's the differentiating factor there. The Shadman drawing was bad. Yes, the Shadman drawing was very bad. All of them were very bad. Not every drawing he ever did, but I mean, you know, the lolly and depictions of real kids and that sort of stuff was pretty bad.
When did my consensual non-consent?
Yeah, most were pretty fucked up. He was a prolific lolly artist for sure. Yeah, but he did draw of-age characters. Like, you know, no one's going to judge you for looking at the Elastigirl stuff, are they? Let's be real. Come on.
Kink came. Dude,
Sure.
nobody keeps track of that. I don't know what to tell you.
Sure, but like you might have an understanding of like, you know, how it escalated, or like you might remember a particular like thing.
Wait,
that you
actually, wasn't some of that stuff like super fucked up? What do you mean? How old is Elastigirl canonically? She's a mother. You crazy?
Or that started you down that pipeline, right? Like people can reference a particular video that pipelined them into the far right or the far left, for example.
Yeah, there's got to be an anime you watched where you.
In her years, she's 15. Everybody hates Chris. Told me that.
First started realizing like this is good shit. There's got to have been something you saw at some point.
Actually, so we can all avoid it. Which ones?
He drew Violet and Helen together a lot. I'm not like hugely familiar with Shadman stuff. I just remember someone mentioning the Elastigirl stuff, and I vaguely recall it seeing it on 4chan back in the day. That is literally my knowledge of all this stuff is like what I've picked up from browsing 4chan for like 15 years.
Which is the dangerous anime?
Bro, that's such a crazy question. I don't know. I don't think you guys realize how crazy of a question you guys are.
It's not that crazy. It's not that crazy at all.
It is absolutely crazy. Like if I were to ask,
it's a silly question.
Well, Kuihman's like right on the edge, so he needs to know what to avoid.
Kuihman's edging right now.
Non-consent, you know, kink come from? Like, where would your answer be there?
The problem is
Didn't Shadman also draw his own mother? That's fucking crazy if he did.
vanilla as fuck, so I don't actually have anything.
The guy that's
like, no, like, what is that? What is good? Is it like their little fingers? Is that what's like? Is it like...
I'm the only one. I listen. The only reason I'm so comfortable talking about it is because I don't give a shit about it.
Problem, right? You guys are.
Pull one of. Gee, wait, dude, fuck. Maybe I do remember seeing that at some point. Oh man, his art style is like nasty with shit like that as well, bro. Okay, yeah, maybe we'll judge people for looking at some of the Shadman Elastigirl stuff. Yeah.